You thought you could get rid of me that easy, punks? I'm here. I'm ready for the Friday live stream. Hello? Can y'all hear me? All right, sorry. My thing said it. What kind of sound did he add to the soundboard? Okay. I got to admit to you, I was a little slacking, and in fact, I was just adding sounds right before the stream started. So let me actually bring to you the current sounds I have. That way you know what we got, and you can still suggest more. Because honestly, you guys said like the same 4 sounds. I was like, I thought my audience was more creative. So, oh, well, I just messed that one up. Hang on 1 second. Oh, God. One of my most beloved sounds is not working right now. And that cannot happen. That cannot happen during a live stream. They must be happening. All right, let's go. Right there, baby. There we go. Oh, beautiful. That's what we need right there. Okay. Y'all ready to see what we got here? We got heavily requested, that one. Don't know how often we'll use it, but it is there. This one that I think is going to annoy anybody who is 20 and older, but my 12-year-olds are going to love it. I have no idea how in the context I will use that, but I will attempt my best to be like, whoa, is that SpongeBob in a thong? Did that work? I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, and speaking of SpongeBob.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, that's going to be for the chatters. All right, that's going to be the shame sound. That's going to be when you guys put in the most dumb little comment, just spamming it in the chat thinking you're Mr. Hilarious. I'm Mr. Hilarious, not you. Let me see if anybody I can find. Chris, please continue to review Welcome to Derry.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
No, actually, I plan to actually, after Sunday's episode, I will do a video talking about my thoughts since you guys have been asking for it, and it's been nice to hear you guys request that. So, although I gave you that, joke's on me. All right, a couple more, and then we'll get into the stream. Oh, dude. All right, we got classic one, right? Whenever anything that's just eye-opening, random, weird, we got a good stuff, good stuff. Another one that I don't think I should have added, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes we say things we don't mean, and we get.
Say that again?
I gotta be careful too, because the Bully Maguire theme copyrighted me last stream, so I have to shorten these sound effects. That one might have actually been a little too long. Fox right now or Disney are on my tail. Okay. This, because we're going to be looking at a lot of Avenger leaks. I'm going to get to the topic soon. I just want to get you through the current sound effects we have right now. This one, because we're going to be looking at a lot of Avengers leaks, and I'm pretty sure 99% of them are AI, but because we can't prove it, so whenever we're looking at something we're doubting, we're going to hit that one. So it said, all right, this is so boring. I'm going to be dead by the end of it. Don't mean it. When the chat hates the content. All right, and then the last one I added out of panic mode that I just feel like there's always a good spot for it. That's just maybe when I'm improving or when I say a joke that doesn't land. It's just good stuff, good stuff. Again, we're going to keep it going, suggest more sound effects, and hopefully they happen. I'm going to love the day I completely forget I have a soundboard, and I'm going to go a whole live stream without hitting a button. So without further ado, let's begin, guys, because we've got a lot of interesting things to discuss here today. Some of the things we're going to be looking at here is Hunger Game prequel trailer. Sunrise on the Reaping came out. We're going to give you my thoughts on that. First look at Jumanji 4. What, are we excited for the 4th and final Jumanji movie? Lanterns got delayed. Lanterns isn't coming out as soon as we thought it was, which also means we got to keep waiting for whenever this trailer drops. No Punisher in Daredevil season 2. Already making the show 2% better. Spider-Man 4 updates. We got some updates involving Tombstone and this prison scene where it looks like he's going to be fighting a bunch of ninjas. That sounds cool. The thing that pissed me off the most yesterday was finding out that we are not going to be getting the live action TMNT Last Ronin movie. That sound is going to get so overused and your guys are going to ask me to delete it. I can see it already, but I like it so much. I feel like you could just use it anywhere. But we are going to be looking at that along with the plans for the future live action movies and who they have on board to make them, because that I'm even iffy on. As well as then ending the show, because it's probably going to take up most of our time, inspecting all the Avengers Doomsday movies. Real or AI? You guys are going to have to figure it out. We're going to see it, because y'all think some of these are clearly AI, and I've been seeing so many people go, that's AI. How do you fall for this? I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I think that one's real, y'all. That one might be real. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but all right, let's begin. Let's start off the show. Let's have a good time. Thank you all for being here. Love your faces. Y'all are amazing. Let's start off with this Hunger Games trailer. So as you guys know, looks like they're doing this like Hunger Games prequel trilogy. We started off with, I actually kind of liked it. Was it Hunger Games? Way too long of a title. What was it? Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and your mama's in District 12 feeding people booty. That's how long the title was. Yeah, that one wasn't that good. Okay, I'll admit that. That one needs a little work. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I honestly didn't mind the movie. I actually thought it was pretty good. I didn't know what to expect of it. I think it didn't land with some people because even the Hunger Game aspect of it wasn't the crucial part. I think it's kind of the brilliant thing this movie does, where by the end of the film, Hunger Games is the real world. Like, you think you're safe once you're out of the arena, you've survived, you've made it. I like the third act and the final part of this movie where it's like, no, we're actually living the Hunger Games all the time. I gotta write down and remember to add the thinking smart sound effect. That's gonna be a good one for when I have my brain blasts. And so I thought it was really cool, really awesome, but I was like, are they gonna make a President Snow trilogy? I don't know how that works. And no, we're just going to be doing what looks like maybe a trilogy or a series of movies on old Hunger Games of importing characters from the Jennifer Lawrence, Katniss Everdeen universe. And so we have the story of Haymitch and how he won his Hunger Games. Spoiler if you haven't watched the Hunger Games, Haymitch wins these games, but his was a quarter quill, which just means they do something special. And the turn was doubling the amount of contestants. So it was the biggest Hunger Games. And I'm curious, man. It's supposed to be the most bloodiest, the most deadly Hunger Games in history. And we're going to see it all go down. Okay, couple of thoughts on the trailer. The vibe, very different. Very different than any of the Hunger Game movies. I feel like this one is going with a very grounded approach. Like, even this shot that I was showing you, I don't know why, it's giving me Midsummer vibes. You know, the Ari Aster movie, Midsummer. I know it's probably not going to be that dark or weird. Bro drank vagina blood in that one. Me after I have my Midsummer meal and it's vagina blood. That's a little tangy. Real thing that happens in that movie, just reminding you all, along with just a lot of other weird stuff. It was crazy. But no, that's kind of the vibe I was getting. It looks very serious, grounded. This is the actor they have to play Haymitch. Let me actually pull up on Discussing Films because they were the ones that got all the people. That way I don't have to do much research or brain power, know what I'm saying? Let me go down to it. So looking at who they've got to play some of these characters. Did I go too far? I think I went too far. I definitely went a little too far. When I see Rachel Sonnet in underwear, that's where I know I've hit the right stride, because I was doing my research earlier and I was like, Rachel, what? I can't show that on stream. I'm going to get canceled for that. Well, not canceled, but okay, there we go. Here are some of the people, the faces. Okay, so just because it's better. So we have the first poster right there, looking good. Uh, it's Joseph Zada, and Whitney Peak as Haymitch and Lenore. I'm assuming love interest that he's probably gonna have to kill. That's gonna be fun to see, unless he's fighting for her in the district. Ralph Fiennes coming in as President Snow. Bro did not age good. Guess they don't have lotion in the districts, even the higher up ones, because bro was pretty handsome in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I mean, bro, I'll admit it. Bro was a looker. And then bro deteriorated. President Snow, huh? From there, I really love this casting. Jesse Plemons playing the character by R.I.P. Oh man, I just said R.I.P. and now I can't think of his actual name. What is it? I'm not gonna search it, and I'm not gonna look at chat. He deserves to have his name remembered. Why can't I think? Philip Seymour Hoffman. I did it. I don't have a victorious sound effect. I don't have like a. Gotta remember to add that one. But no, I like that's just awesome casting. I think that works well. Jesse Plemons is having a great career, so I love seeing him in things. I was even surprised McKenna Grace is in this movie. I had no idea McKenna Grace was going to be a character in this. Feels like she's been very active lately in her career. She's about in Five Nights at Freddy's. She was just in that Colleen Hoover movie that I didn't love all that much, but she represents District 9 in this one. Even the Karate Kid. He's in here. He was just in The Long Walk, Karate Kid. I was like, oh dang, that's kind of a star-studded cast. So I gotta be honest, although we'll see how this tone plays out, I do like them having a different vibe. It's not too crazy of a different vibe from Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but I do like it. I know a lot of times we criticize modern cinemas for looking very gray. And while this one does have that, I think the outside scenes, like I said, give me very vibrant, very colorful. So I like it. I hope it turns out good. My only question now is, so if part one of this trilogy where they're going back and telling stories of famous characters, well, number one was about President Snow, right? Kind of his Darth Vader origin, right? Starts off innocent young man, ends up becoming evil. I was like, okay, that one was good. Second movie, we're focusing on Haymitch and his games. I think that's a great idea. It's probably the a better idea, but I'm like, okay, now what's the third movie? What's the third movie? What character from the past would deserve their own film that is also connected to a Hunger Game? That's where you Hunger Game fans are gonna have to tell me is like, did Peeta's mom Hunger Game it? What kind of games was she up to? You know what I'm saying? The Hungry Man. I'll just call it the Hungry Man. Finnick. Oh, so okay. That sounds like a familiar name. Finnick. Hunger. Who is it? Is he the wardrobe guy? Finnick. Oh. District who won the 65th Hunger Games at 14, making him the youngest victor in Hunger. Ooh, you know what? You're right. Is that actually already confirmed by whoever writes the Hunger Games books? I'm assuming she's probably already in the middle of writing that one. But you know what? I do like that idea. He seems to have an interesting story. The 65th Hunger Games was 14th, the youngest one to survive. I don't know, maybe his could be like a Batman story where he just like outsmarts everybody. I don't remember if his character was that smart, but that'd be kind of cool to see. So, yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be down for that. Thank you guys for letting me know that. So, overall, yeah, this seems fun. This seems cool. I like this idea. I'm glad it's not a President Snow trilogy. I was afraid of that when the first movie was announced. I was like, oh, 3 movies about President Snow? That's weird. But I like this idea of just going back to historical characters in the Hunger Games and focusing on their story. I think that's actually kind of cool. So, yeah, down for this. Should be nice. Moving on to the next topic here. Jumanji. Jumanji 4. All right. Technically, Jumanji 4. I know. It's annoying. And if anything, I just call it Jumanji 4 because then it enacts comment baiters who want to be like, there was a third movie? I didn't see that one. When did that come out? It's actually Jumanji 3, okay? We're not really counting the Robin Williams one. Just, I don't care. Just leave those comments, engage with the video. I am happy either way, buddy. But this is technically the fourth Jumanji movie since they count the Robin Williams film, and they have started filming. And we already even have set photos of them working and doing. And honestly, it makes me kind of excited for what this movie is going to end up being like. So here, let me pull up some of these photos. Dude, The Rock is going to be tiny in this one. I say tiny, but look, I just spammed you with a freaking ad right there. Sorry, guys. Let me just wait for that to go away. That way I can exit out. Okay. But The Rock, as you guys know, he recently lost a ton of weight for another role he's doing because he's trying to do more serious roles other than like Smashing Machine. Bro is looking pretty thin for The Rock. You know, you could try to make bro's the pebble.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But I mean, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna work well. He supposedly he did have time to pack on some muscle, but face wise, he is looking pretty skinny. He's looking pretty skinny. Very jealous. But all right, so with this one, with the first look photo that they released, they shot them all when they were out in the open, in a city. Here we go. And I was like, oh, yes, that's right. The second movie, or the third movie, ended with Jumanji finally peering or peeking into our world, a lot like the Robin Williams film. I remember kind of being disappointed when the first movie came out of the Dwayne Johnson version with this cast, because I was like, okay, I think the idea of going into Jumanji is cool, but it's like the things coming out of Jumanji and peeking into our world and doing all that. That's what made the Robin Williams one very fun to me. Same as like kind of Zathura. But it's like, all right, but now in this third attempt, we are actually going to be getting that. And I think it even sets up for some really interesting character dynamics, because now the characters that they've been playing are actually going to be themselves, because we have a couple of photos here with one of the, I wanted to call him a Wolfhard brother. That's not a Wolfhard. He was in the Naked Brothers band, which I don't think I can search Naked Brothers online and get a good result. But you know what? We like to live dangerously. Naked Brothers bandcast, because that's how I knew them. Nat Wolf. Okay, Nat Wolf and Alex Wolf. I believe it's Alex Wolf, right? It's not Nat. You could see him here interacting with them. So they're finally not going to be doing the thing where they're like jumping into each other's bodies and pretending to be Dr. Braveheart Stone or whatever the name is. Now we're actually going to see how those characters are supposed to be without someone pretending to be them. I think that's actually going to be very fun. Maybe they could still do some body swapping thing and have some fun there, but I think it's just as fun just to have them finally be the characters they're supposed to be from the games, and they're all like, there's a building. I'm used to a jungle. You know, the peak writing right there. So I like that. Could be fun. They're saying it is the final movie, which understandable. This cast is still very popular. Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Dwayne Johnson, even Karen Gillian. So yeah, it makes sense that they only have the budget to like keep upping them up every for 3 movies. But I'm also like, dude, this Jumanji concept is so cool. Why don't we have more Jumanji movies, but that aren't Jumanji? I brought up a second ago Zathura. How many of y'all remember Zathura? I remember I didn't like it as much as Jumanji, but this was still a pretty fun movie. Josh Hutcherson. It was basically Jumanji, but in space. And again, they play the game, but everything is space themed. How do we not have like 5 or 7 of these movies? Or 6, 7. I don't know if there's a sound effect for that, but I'll look for one. I'll look for one. But I'm like thinking about the endless potential you could do with that, with the different themes. Like, can you imagine a horror movie that's Zathura or Jumanji? You could have like, I don't know, just like a circus and do a bunch of clowns and horror stuff starts happening. What sounds do clown makes when they goon? All right, yeah, I just did that. So I still think maybe that's the next step, because Jumanji still be making a lot of money, right? Jumanji, like I think both movies end up close to $1 billion each time. Jumanji, what's up? Next level. Let's search up the box office on that. Jumanji, to box office. Let's just see like oh dude, yeah, the second one they made with that cast, $800, 800 million. Dude, that's great. That's awesome. So Somehow Jumanji's still going to come back, even if it's with a new cast, but I wouldn't mind them trying something out kind of like this. No, the people, I thought it bombed. No, these movies make bank. Like that first movie, I actually do think made 1 billion. Not the Robin Williams one, but the what is it? The 2000, is it 2009 17? Let's look at that one. That one probably did make 1 billion. I remember that surprise. Oh no, it was close though. It was close. 9-6, dude. Money like this is really hard in Hollywood. In 2016, it was they were happy and all that, and they thought that was cool, but Marvel movies were making that like every weekend. They were like, "Oh, cool, we got that. We can make a sequel." Now they are just begging. They're begging for that. So, yeah, it does not surprise me with how much these movies makes people enjoy them, people love them. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But you guys let me know. You excited for Jumanji 4? And do you like this that the characters that they were playing are finally gonna be acting as themselves? I want to see what Dwayne Johnson's character is actually gonna act like as this Smolder. Like we're gonna see his real Smolder. No fake Smolder. It's gonna be real Smolder. That's gonna be worth the price a ticket alone. Okay, let's move on. Lanterns. You guys know I am not big on the superhero TV programs. Um, I've Disney Plus has really burnt me out on them. But DC has been doing good. The Penguin series I thought was really good. Peacemaker, both seasons, even if that finale left me a little disappointed, still good. So I'm actually super excited for Lanterns. Lanterns is probably the most anticipated superhero show I've been looking forward to in a long time. Not just for the DCU, but just Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, like finally, dude. I wish it was a movie, but as a show, I'll take it. But it's been so weird because this show has like just been done all in secrecy. We've gotten some set photos and things like that. Like let me see here. I think a couple of them popped up here, like him like with a gun firing off, shooting some people, getting attacked. And people are worried, for a show involving space cops with all these big grand powers, they're probably not going to do as much. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past James Gunn to find a way to actually do both. Keep it grounded, but still give us those big CGI effects that we expect from like a Green Lantern story. Well, man, every time we get an official update on this, I get a little more worried because now the most recent update is that Lanterns has been delayed to later summer of 2026. It was supposed to come out early 2026, like maybe February, January, possibly even spring, but now we're being told that the show is going towards the later summer dates. Now, there isn't an exact reason why they didn't like obviously comment on that. I don't want to panic and say, oh, the show's probably bad. If anything, I want to say maybe there's a lot of VFX heavy stuff and they just want to get all that stuff really down. I thought Lanterns, to me, why it's a worrying sign is because if Lanterns is as great of a show as I hope it's going to be, and I think it's going to be, I actually think it would be so much more in their favor to release this before Supergirl, because remember, this show was set to come out before Supergirl, and now it's going to be coming out after Supergirl. And the reason, again, I say this is the DCU. If you have a good story, if you got something that's going to excite people, you want to release it, and that gets people excited for the next DCU thing, right? I wonder if maybe Peacemaker scared them a little bit, because although we are in our little comic book bubble, there were a lot of people that just turned on the DCU through that finale. I think that is exaggerating, although I had major problems with some of the things in that finale. It was not enough for me to go, yep, James Gunn, I knew it. You can't do this. Give it back to Mr. Snyder. I was like, kind of a fumble, but I'm excited to see what continues on there. I wonder if something like that did scare them, where maybe even if the show's just okay, it's not nothing that'll just super excite people for Supergirl. And maybe they were like, well, let's just have Supergirl debut, because I think from what I've been hearing, that's pretty good. And then that will then pour over to more viewership in Lanterns. Maybe that's their strategy here. Also, maybe James Gunn is working better at tweaking some of the story elements, because remember, he said Lanterns is actually supposed to be pretty crucial to the DCU. It sets up this mystery. They're going off and trying to solve a case that when they reveal what the case is, it's going to impact the overall DCU. I think maybe it could be characters disappearing, going into the prison, the Salvation prison that we've heard of. That could happen. I've heard some people speculate that like Guy Gardner gets murdered and maybe they're trying to figure out his. I'm like, that would be interesting, but I doubt James Gunn would kill Nathan Fillion that quick, especially with people liking him after Superman. But it definitely feels like there is something. There is something there on why they delayed it. It's a strategy reason. I don't want to hit the panic button, but man, this makes me more sad because I was really thinking by like January, February at the latest, we would finally get a trailer, a sneak peek at what this show looks like. And now we might not be getting anything till like March, April, right? Especially with shows like this, it feels like it's common now to like not even market the show until like it's 2 or 3 months away. And it's like, oh, that's going to be a long time. So we'll see. I'm curious if you guys have any theories. Again, I'm not trying to bash or hit the panic button on James Gunn, but it's like it's an interesting choice, especially since it feels like this show has been finished for a while. It's like, why are we holding back on it? What's going on here? What's happening? Jimmy Gunn, let me know. It could just be quality control. Maybe James Gunn's like, I think we could do better. I think we could do something better. Maybe he's tweaking some of this stuff. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Lantern's getting delayed for sure hurt me, but I'm still super excited. And although maybe it's a yellow flag, I won't say red flag. I'm like, let's just wait and see what happens, and then we'll know once we watch it. All right, you guys let me know why you think Lanterns ended up getting delayed. Something else, man, that I was like so sad to hear about. We know we have Daredevil season 2 right around the corner. That's going to be interesting in itself. I say season 2, but it's technically season 5 on Disney Plus. And I'm very interested on it because it's finally going to be that creative team having full control of the story. Remember the last season of Born Again, it was half the previous writers and then half the new writers from the Netflix show, and now this whole series is going to be done by them. So it's like, okay, the full control, do whatever they want, go full mature on it. I'm excited, and I'm really liking this black suit that Daredevil has on. I can't wait for the explanation. I'm pretty sure the explanation is going to be that he grabs a can of black spray paint, tinsels a little double D's, and then just goes, hey, Daredevil, you're blind, so you just made your carpet black. Your suit's over there in that corner, Daredevil. Hey, Daredevil blind joke. I'll be here all week, guys. But I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen, right? So with all that and what's going on with it, I can't wait to see how the Kingpin story unfolds, Bullseye's involvement, if they somehow bring back Foggy Nelson to life, because they're saying he's still involved in season 2. I'm thinking it's mainly going to be flashbacks, but that thing that brought Elektra to life is still out there. Maybe they do that with Foggy. They throw him in there, right? But then the thing that threw me off is we got confirmation that Punisher is actually not going to return for Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Okay, now, what are we doing here? What's going on? A couple months ago, I am still shocked we are about to get Punisher not only have his own special, but he's going to be a guest character in a Spider-Man movie. Like, that is a dream come true for me. As a big Punisher fan, big Spider-Man fan, I cannot wait to see how they use the Punisher in that movie, how much screen time he gets, if him and Spider-Man have a little tussle, whatever the case, right? And that was one of the disappointing parts of Born Again for me is Frank Castle's story in that. It felt so unfinished. I kept waiting the whole season for him to really take seriously that, hey, the police are using your symbol, acting as you, judge, jury, and executioner, but aren't really going after the worst of the worst. They're just picking and choosing who they think. And I was like, well, Frank's not going to take that. Frank is going to handle that. He's going to make sure to go investigate and take these guys down. And really, he just let them do them until it became necessary for him to help Daredevil, thanks to Karen. And he's like, all right, I guess I'll take care of these guys now. I wanted more closure. I wanted that story more fleshed out. And heck, maybe that will be fleshed out in his Punisher special. But I was disappointed with the way that storyline was handled, and I thought there could have been more to it. So I thought next season that would be it. And even at the end of Daredevil's Born Again, Daredevil's like, I'm putting a team together. We're going to fight Fisk. Oh, yeah. In a world of Avengers, Spider-Man, Iron Man, a janitor, a lady who owns a bar, my ex-girlfriend, and my private investigator. This is the Avenger team I have assembled. That was still another disappointment at the end of Born Again. I'm like, I'm putting a team together. And in the Marvel world, you're like, oh, he's in New York. He's going to get... The bar lady? The bar lady's going to punch Fisk or make him a drink? We're cooked. Fisk, you can have the town. You can keep it. Deuces. Right? So I thought maybe Punisher would eventually be part of his team, or he'd grab him and all that. But I guess it also doesn't make sense because Daredevil doesn't even approve of Punisher's method. And I feel like that can just become such a rinse and repeat, how do I say it, dynamic of Daredevil constantly going, Frank, no killing. Come on. And then as he turns around, Frank still stab, stab, kill, break neck. It's like, oh, Frank, I can't control you. You know, so, and then they have a fight about what's right, what's wrong. So maybe that could be one of the reasons. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed. I am curious, though, the future of Punisher. Because after Spider-Man, character's going to blow up. Because we know him, we love him. But once you show him up in a Spider-Man movie, oh, popularity going to go through the roof. And maybe he'll get his own show. And I would love to see a Punisher show with the Disney Plus money. Although they would definitely probably lead to like the War Machine storyline. Something outrageous and crazy. Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Frank, I heard his neck clearly break. I'm so sorry, guys. I love that sound. It tickles my brain. Y'all are gonna hate it by the end of this stream. All right, so yeah, you guys let me know though your thoughts, your feelings on how Punisher is just not gonna be returning for this. That sucks. That sucks. And well, I guess since we're on the topic of Punisher showing up in Spider-Man 4, let's talk about some Spider-Man Brand New Day, because we got a lot of cool updates that just hit the interwebs, my friends. So, for one, we got some new scenes and details that are being formed right now. I'm trying to get the right thing. Oh, hey, I would use that, but I don't like that AI photo. Let me see if I can get the... What is... Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm just kidding. You guys know I don't like any of that stuff. Okay. Enough. I had to get some fun in there with the sound effects. Okay, so I'll go to Spider-Man news. I'll start off with this Tombstone story, because we got an update on how Tombstone is going to be used, not just in Spider-Man Brand New Day, in the trilogy, this new trilogy we have planned. So this is all coming from Alex from the Cosmic Circus. Like I've said before, Cosmic Circus, I think, is a very reliable source. They've gotten a lot of things right. I will admit, lately, it's been a lot of speculating. And there have been speculations on like Doomsday, Brand New Day, projects that are still a little bit away. And since they haven't come out yet, we don't know how right they are, but they haven't steered me wrong, and I haven't seen them just flat out lie or make up stuff like some other people. So I am going to trust their word for it now. But here we go. We get some details saying Marvel and Sony reportedly plan to bring Marvin Jones III back as Tombstone in the next Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy. He will first show up in the movie Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is already confirmed. His role in the movie will be similar to how he was portrayed in Spectacular Spider-Man. Essentially here, what they're saying then is that Tombstone is going to be a character or villain that'll be a recurring thing in the Spider-Man Brand New Day trilogy, which to me is a good sign that we're headed to street-level stories, that Spider-Man is going to be mainly doing stuff in New York, handling the crime there. I was worried after, No Way Home that they would just continue trying to up that, going bigger and bigger, and that just means traveling multiverses, meeting Miles Morales in the animated verse or doing something like that, which, wouldn't be totally opposed, but it's also like, I just feel like we haven't gotten enough of Tom Holland in New York doing street level stuff. I'd love to see those stories. So having Tombstone, and he won't be like a central villain. That's something that they specified also. It's not like he's going to be always there, but he's going to be a character that's kind of just always looming. Sometimes he has to go to him, sometimes he has to fight him off. He's just going to be someone there. I like that. I think that's going to be cool for Spider-Man. It also goes to show maybe how good of an actor, the actor that they got to portray him. I like this idea. I think that'll be really cool. Especially because if they go with the Spectacular Spider-Man, well, that Tombstone was just always hiring thugs and villains and becoming a problem for Spider-Man. And there was also this interesting thing where they have the same idea of wanting to clean up the streets of New York, wanting to better the city, but obviously Spider-Man wants to do it in a good way, while Tombstone wants to just like kill anybody who disagree, which is also something Punisher is going to do. So it's like, what makes Punisher kind of an ally for Spider-Man, but someone like Tombstone just a straight up villain, So that's going to be cool to see. Then we got this really cool update involving Spider-Man and a prison. So it looks like we're getting some details here. Here it says from Daniel RPK, a major action scene for Spider-Man Brand New Day has been filmed in a prison. The scene shows Spider-Man fighting an army of ninjas. We are like several months in to Spider-Man Brand New Day having filmed, having stuff. I mean, I think any week now we're going to hear that they've wrapped filming and they're done. And the amount of actual leaks that we've gotten is laughable compared to the No Way Home days, Far From Home, or I don't even know Homecoming had any leaks, to be honest with you. But No Way Home, we had that whole movie beat for beat, scene by scene, like months, a whole year before release. And we still ate that up and went crazy, right? Brand New Day is different. We have no idea who Sadie Sink is. We have no idea who the main villain is. You hear something like Spider-Man fight ninjas, and you're just like, huh? What? That's exciting. That sounds fun. So having this scene where Spider-Man could fight off some ninjas, I think that's cool. I've already seen some people speculate that, here we go. And I want to give credit to the actual first person I saw doing this, which was, you guys some know him. He does good videos. Sammy, is it Reacts? I don't know how to get what do it. Sammy J Reacts, I think was his name. You guys see him? He's on TikTok, does a lot of good stuff. Yeah, him. He was the first one I saw make this speculation, and then it looks like they just took his theory and made it into an article here. But they're saying with this being by director Destin Daniel Cretton, who also did Shang-Chi, well, if he's including ninjas and things like that, it could be the Hand. It could be the Hand from Daredevil, or he could be tying in stuff that he set up in the 10 Rings with that movie, and that could kind of fit into their theory. Ninja, it depends how they're dressed. I don't know if they're fully going to be dressed like in that photo we were seeing, like with a straight up stereotypical ninja. So it could be that. It says here, this comes mere months after it was reported that Brand New Day was drawing inspiration from films like Kill Bill, Quentin Tarantino's, for its action scenes explicitly referencing the bride's fight against Gogo and the crazy 88 sequence from the first Kill Bill. So, like, that is cool. It could involve the 10 Rings. They could connect it somehow. That is a post-credit scene that kind of went unanswered and we never got much details. But again, I'm just like, who is the villain? Their connection to Spider-Man? Is it going to be a classic character? Is it going to be something new? And even more so with Sadie Sink now confirmed for Secret Wars. How does that all tie in, man? I don't know, but as long as it's street level story and it makes sense and we get some nice Spider-Man visuals, that'll be great. I'm even just like Tom Holland in that suit, dude. He did like a charity event over the weekend or last week, and him just walking around in that suit, I'm just like, that suit is so perfect. Look at this, is just a charity event for kids in need, and just there, Tom Holland looks so great, dude. I really get a good angle of the suit, but it just looks so nice. I was like, dude, that suit is perfect. Do not cover it in a layer of CGI. That's gonna be the thing that would make me so mad. If this whole suit is just CGI. When it just already looks so. Look at this. This is proof you don't need to do that. Anyways, you've heard me gush over that suit tons of times. So yeah, those are the updates with Spider-Man 4. Still kind of cool with every detail we get. We're just as confused. We're just as curious. Hopefully, when the movie comes out, it all makes sense. Ninjas, Punisher, Sadie Sink, Secret Wars, Spider-Man. What is happening? What is happening? All right. Let's get on to the bad news, y'all. Let's get on to this Ninja Turtle news. All right. So, yesterday I was out and busy doing some stuff, or else I would have made this as its own video. And I was so close to, but I was like, oh, then I'd be too tired to do a live stream, and I'd hate to push the live stream. But I'm here and we're doing it. We got an update on what the Ninja Turtles are going to be doing in live action form. Now, just to catch you up, we have heard for a while that Paramount is wanting to do another live action movie. And in fact, the last people that were set to write it was what was the name? SNL Weekly Update. What was that? It's the guy who does those. What's his name? I don't watch much SNL. Michael Che Rose. Is it Michael Che? Yeah, there we go. Colin Joss. Sorry. Colin. He was hired alongside another partner to do TMNT. I remember that. That's what got announced. I just remember thinking, oh, that's kind of random. I wonder why he was chosen to do the live action movie. I see here it goes. This was announced 2021. Said here, Casey and Colin Jost to write live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie for Paramount. That was 2021. So 4 years ago, about to be 5. And nothing happened with that. I don't know if their script just wasn't good enough, they didn't like the direction, or things were stalling, but this movie never ended up coming to be. And now we're being told what is the plan with the new creative head. So it says here, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Neil H. Mortz in talks to produce live action feature for Paramount. You read that headline, you go, all right, finally, I need me some TMNT Turtles. Let's do it. Cowabunga, dude. And then you read a little further into it. So, for one, they give us an update on, let's see here. I'm trying to find the exact phrasing. Within the article, they give you an update then on what has been happening. It says, there hasn't been a live-action CGI, live-action Ninja Turtle movie since the mid-2000s with Teenage Turtles Out of the Shadows, the Michael Bay produced ones, that bombed at the box office, stopping the filming of the franchise in its tracks. Yeah, that's because it wasn't very good, okay? I said it. There's going to be a lot of Michael Bay Turtle hate here, so get ready for that. And then they moved on to the Animated Mutant Mayhem, which is good. And that is separate from all this news. We will talk about that in a sec. And I was like, okay, that's fine. It's going good. And then here is where the devastating part came in. It said, at the same time, The Last Ronin, another TMNT live-action CG animation hybrid project that was in development, has been put back in the pizza box. I need a sad sound effect. I don't know if a fart's a sad sound effect, but I'm pretty sad. According to sources, the project was being developed as an R-rated feature with nobody filmmaker. So we didn't know this part. We knew they had a writer, which was the writer of the Child's Play reboot, which I said, oh, he's a fan, or he was nice to me. He messaged me once and said, hey, thanks for promoting the movie and being nice and all that. He was in charge to write it, and then we just heard no updates. We did not know they had a director in mind, and they have the director of nobody. This is the Bob Odenkirk action movie that is actually pretty enjoyable, that makes you go, oh, that could have been something fun then, because I do like the action and the story and the way that was handled. That actually could have been pretty cool, knowing that he was the director behind it. But the reason they canceled it or stopped it, the new regime wasn't keen on having the first non-animated movie in 10 years be a bloody, adult, skewing story. One sider says the studio wants to leave the door open to possibly revisit it down the road. Okay, that is some good news right there. Because, you know, you hear it's canceled and you're like, dang, that was our one chance. That was it for us. We're cooked. We're done. But they're saying here, look, the project was far along. We were probably going to start filming, casting, making this movie. But if we did that, our first live-action Ninja Turtle movie in over 10 years would be this adult, a horror story. Which, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? You know, like you have Mutant Mayhem, and you're saying you just don't want to skew away the family friendly part of it, but it's like Mutant Mayhem's still here. People love that. I really loved it. I'm excited for the sequel. So why can't that be the kid friendly family version and this one be where the adults come and play, right? What's wrong with that? Honestly, I saw this coming since the day they announced it, guys. Nickelodeon are the owners of the Ninja Turtles. They own the rights. They're the ones that make all the shows and all the movies. It's their property. And I was just like, Nickelodeon approving an R-rated live-action Ninja Turtle movie? I was like, what? What? I mean, we got the Disney Deadpool movie before Nickelodeon did this, right? Like, I didn't even think the Disney Deadpool movie would happen, but it did. So I always thought it was such a long shot because Nickelodeon's logo would still have to play in some format in front of this movie. And everybody like, oh? Oh? So hopefully they get back to it someday in the future, and hopefully this still ends up happening. I know you guys are probably spamming in the chat the last Ronin video game. I am not trying to jinx anything. I'm fearing this one's next. I'm fearing very soon, maybe not very soon, but one day in the near future, we're going to be told the game has been canceled. The game is not moving forward. The game is no longer happening. I'm not saying I have any insider information. You guys know I barely ever do. But the company making the game has had major layoffs. They've had a lot of change in management. We've got no updates on this game since this teaser came out, which was, when did this teaser trailer come out? Let me see here. 2 years ago, which I guess is still common for a lot of video games. I don't know. To me, it feels like the Wonder Woman situation with that game, where it's like it got announced, you had a little mock trailer, it went silent for so long, and then the plug was pulled, right? I hope that isn't the case, because this would be the biggest thing as proof Nickelodeon needs that, hey, people will watch this, because you know why? They spent $60 or $80, whatever the price of the video game will be when it comes out. They spent that much just to play this game. They'll spend the $20 to go watch it in theaters. Crazy, that's how much tickets. I exaggerate, but that's about it, right? It's like, well, they spent $80 to play a game. They'll spend that money then to watch the movie. Let's greenlight this thing and go. So this to me is like, I need the video game to happen, because this is going to be the proof and the numbers on the chart that Nintendo needs, that, okay, there is an audience. There are people who want this last Ronin story. If this video game flops, then the movie's dead forever. The video game ain't sell, movie might not happen. That's honestly how I see it. So with that said, pretty sad, but I do like the silver lining of, it's just close the door on it now. We'll get back to it after we go to our live action movie. So let's talk about this live action movie that they have planned, because I have very mixed thoughts on this. So this is where they tell us the sequel to Mutant Mayhem is still happening. That hasn't changed. The animated movie's still in the works, going good. But here they say multiple sources at Paramount want to Sonicify the TMNT franchise. The Sonic the Hedgehog is a 3-movie and counting hit franchise for Paramount that is based on the popular Sega video game. The movies are live-action hybrids and play very well to all ages. The 4-quadrant crowd and have become a billion-dollar franchise. That's combining all 3 movies, not individually. No Sonic movie has made $1 billion on its own. That's if you count the box office of all 3 movies combined. For short, the studio and them happen to be producers of Morts. If you want Sonic, you want to get the guy who did Sonic, the one insider says. So that's who they got. This producer, Neil H. Mortz, he produced all 3 of the Sonic movies. So let me pull those up. Sonic movies. And also he produced most of the Fast and Furious movies. Like, might have been all of them. Okay. I have some thoughts about this. You guys know. Pretty big Sonic fan. I like the movies. But I am not gonna lie and say they were perfect from the beginning. We had that whole debacle with the design, and if that design stayed, I don't think we'd be at the 4th movie coming up like we are now. But even with the design fixed, the first Sonic movie's not all that perfect. It's enjoyable, it's a fun watch, but it just like barely, I think, made it as like a thumbs up movie. Just being honest. Second movie, I actually enjoyed much more. I know there's some people who don't like it, But the second movie is where they finally like, okay, get this real world stuff behind and let's lean into the video gameisms. Let's lean into the things that fans can get excited about. And that's where I had a blast. And the third movie is the best one. The third movie is the best one. So what I'm saying is each movie got progressively better. But we had to start at a point where it was mixed. It wasn't the best, and it was doing a lot of the stereotypical things that even the Ninja Turtles always suffer with. The human characters first, and the CGI people you want to see kind of second. Now, this is where I want to play a little devil's advocate and reverse my thought. Maybe instead of starting with what Sonic did at first, they're taking the steps in what Sonic is doing with like the third movie. Because you got to admit, by the third Sonic movie, it is human characters so little and CGI people so much more, right? There's so much more Sonic, so much Shadow, so much Tails, so much Knuckles, and then you have the human characters that tag along. But there is a night and day difference in the amount of time. I think if you apply that to a Ninja Turtle movie, that would make people very happy. Because as much as we'd like to say, oh, bring back physical suits, you know, do like the TMNT in the 90s, unfortunately, we're just past that point. And I think every Ninja Turtle movie that we have from now on is a CGI Ninja Turtle live action hybrid, right? They're not gonna go back to the guys in suits. As much as, trust me, I would love that. It's just unfortunately that time has passed and it's only going to be CGI mocap people the way they did the, the Michael Bay movies. Looking at those set photos, man, I'm just like, why are they so huge? Michael Bay set photos. Look at that. Here we go. This is what they be looking like. And then they mocapped, added all the CG work. That's Alan Richardson. That's Jack Reacher. So with that in mind, maybe they can learn those lessons from Sonic. Because I'll also say it. Calling something you want to Sonicify it, it doesn't give me that much hope. Especially because if I put aside the Sonic stuff, well, then the things I really have to look forward to as you as a producer is the Fast and Furious movies, which, yes, I am a fan of, but Fast and Furious and even the Sonic movies give me vibes that we are returning to the days of the Michael Bay movies. That's the vibe I'm thinking you're going to go with. It's the Michael Bay kind of era done again. And I know there are fans of it, and I don't completely hate these movies. I joke around, but they are one of my least favorite of the Ninja Turtle films. For a couple of reasons. I have a whole video talking about them, but for a lot of reasons, I would not like to go back to this era. I would like them to do something better. And just Fast and Furious and Sonic producer do not scream it'll be better. It screams more of the same. Just in my opinion. Okay, other things to discuss with this. For sure, when they get a director and writer, it'll definitely set the tone better because he's just a producer, but he has an idea of what they want them to be like. And if they're taking the Sonic movies as inspiration, well, yeah, but also the tone works because Jim Carrey's there. You're going to make Jim Carrey Shredder in this? Okay, fine. Make Jim Carrey Shredder. You already had a white dude as Shredder in the second movie. Oh, they actually changed that in the edit? The white dude was supposed to be Shredder. We all know. It's so funny, too, because looking back at these Michael Bay movies, they were also plagued with fan backlash that caused them to change the movie. Don't forget, the first Michael Bay movie of this one, they were going to make the Turtles aliens. They were going to be creatures from outer space that crash landed. So much fan backlash, they changed that and went back to the Ooze story. Second movie, I'm telling you, there was a guy in there, I forget his name, but he was supposed to be Shredder. And they're like, you can't make a white dude Shredder. Shredder, not a white dude. And so they changed that up. And I'm like, dude, now it explains why the Sonic movies are taking inspiration from the Ninja Turtles. They were the original fan backlash changing movies. Okay. Other controversial things, because I know I kind of been hating a little bit. I know some people are going to bring up like this TMNT commercial, right? TMNT commercial where I love this design. Not this one. What the heck? That's just Raph in a towel. What's under that towel? We went too long without a soundbite, so I had to throw that in there. But no, there's this commercial going around. Is it the State Farm commercial? I'm trying to find where they have a CGI look to the Turtles. Is it State Farm? State Farm Insurance? What's, if you guys know what the commercial is, so I can play it. It's this one, right? Or is the UK? Or is the UK commercial? Well, they get all the good stuff. Oi, oi! I'm a Ninja Turtle. I don't go in the sewer. I am in the subway. What do they have? What is it called? I literally saw it. Okay, I'll just type in TMNT commercial because I saw it on X as well. I've seen the commercial before, but I can never find it on YouTube. Okay, there we go. I think it's this one. There, perfect. Okay. All right, so once this started coming, and with every Ninja Turtle iteration, we got to have a new look, right? We have a new design. So then people brought back up this commercial that was done, was like, they spent a lot of good money on this. Hopefully it doesn't complain. But it looks like Donnie going to the rescue to help. And these effects are great, dude. A whole movie like this, I would be so happy. I'd pay money 10 times over. A whole trilogy like this, yes, give it to me. Especially because this design is obviously taking inspiration from the 90s Turtles, even the cartoons, the earlier cartoons. All good. With that said, I don't think this should be the design in the live action movies. I don't think they should do a heightened version of a design that's already happened. This is shocking because I didn't think this like a couple years ago, but now I've come to realize we have had several versions of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles over the years that now it's not even looked at as a cash grab, a money grab, or anything like that. It's just understood the Ninja Turtles are going to be rebooted, whether in movie, cartoon, animated form, every couple of years. I mean, just look at this timeline of different cartoon characters and iterations. And it becomes now where there is a version of the Turtles for every generation. All right. The 6, 7 generation, you know, those kids, it's the Mutant Mayhem movies. The Mutant Mayhem movies are their generation, right? For I don't know, what was the Planking kids or what, the Vine kids? It was the Michael Bay era of movies. For me, it was the 90 movies. The 90 movies was my era of the Turtles. And so going into this next era where it's been over 10 years and now we're going to have a new generation, I think with that, you create a new style, you create a new look, and you give a distinct style for the new Turtles. And you don't just try to copy what's worked before to please the old generation. That's my stance on it. I know some people might not agree or think that, but I think if every reboot you just want to go back and do like a tweaked up version of old Turtles, I think that loses what the Ninja Turtles have become over the years. I mean, just look at how different a lot of these art styles are and how much it sticks with some people. So that's my stance on it. I can't wait to see what the new design is, what their new angle is, because even Mutant Mayhem has a new angle where they want to focus on the teenage aspect, which people thought that was like, oh, they're not even teenagers, they're preteens, they're little kids. I'm like, but they're growing up as teenagers. And let me tell you, the Michael Bay movies, barely teenagers. Those dudes were on steroids and were full-grown scary creature men. I would like maybe the live-action version to focus on the ninja, the teenage part of it. I've seen some people say, what if they actually cast teenage characters this time around? But again, that's already Mutant Mayhem's thing, so it'd have to be something different. So, you guys let me know. Again, devastated about The Last Ronin, but holding out hope that'll come back. I'm curious about this, just worried about the tone. Because I like Sonic, but I like Ninja Turtle more. That's just my truth. Just me being honest. So as a Ninja Turtle fan being told they're going to copy the style of something, I don't want to say I think less of, but something I'm just like, oh, okay. It just like, it surprises me a little. Surprises me a little, but also can't blame it because the Sonic movies have been hyped. They have been hyped. So you guys tell me. Someone just said Unk Turtles.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Good stuff. Yeah, honestly, that could be it too. I saw someone say they could follow the IDW comics. That would be nice. That would be nice. All right, let's move on to talk about these Doomsday leaks. I don't even know where to begin, guys. There is some weird things going on with Avengers Doomsday. So we want to talk about how Brand New Day has had minimal to almost no leaks. Doomsday really only had one major leak that they denied, but I'm pretty sure was real. You guys remember, it was these concept arts. It was these concept art photos that I'm guaranteeing you these were real, and we will find out that these were real. And whether they were purposely leaked out or not, we'll wait and see. But I believe these, even if the costume stuff don't come out, I think all these scenes and situations we are actually going to see play out. This might have been for the Vision Quest show, but I believe these. I think these were real. These weren't AI. These were actual concepts that they're cooking up for the movie and down the line, right? But that was really the only major leak they had. The film wrapped and did everything, nothing. Now that the movie has finished filming and has been like weeks, even months, out of nowhere, tons of Avengers Doomsday leaks that I'm just going to pull off here to the side. Some of them convincing, some of them straight up AI. We'll see. You guys know the first ones that came up. So let's start off from the beginning, were the Tobey Maguire ones. The Tobey Maguire leaks, which there's so many more now that I'm just like, what? How do I even scroll past it? Was this one? I talked about it before. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is real. And y'all laughed at me. Y'all like laughed at me and said, nah, I don't think so, none of that. I actually 100% believe this one's real. I have no insider information or anything like that. But we found out this was real, and this was our first hint that Tobey was in the movie. And since then, so many more reliable people and so much other reports that Tobey is in this movie. So I think it's undeniable. Tobey Maguire is in Doomsday. Whether this is his look and he actually has a scar like this, we'll see. But this was a leak where I was like, I believe this. I believe this, right? And then we had like the Black Panther, or is it Shuri and Magneto? This one came first. And I said, oh, this is fake. This is like so fake. This is not even real. But it looks like it was done around the same time as the Tobey Maguire one. So I was like, well, if I believe the Tobey Maguire one, I have to believe this one as well. Oh, did the photo disappear? Did they just like scrub it off the internet? Let me see here. Some of these photos. These were proven fake. Don't even listen to those. But I'm trying to find the original Shuri and Magneto one. Oh, damn, I'm not going to be able to find it. But that was one that you guys saw also. And I was like, I didn't believe it. Might have been real. Okay, well, let's talk about these new ones. I have them all up to the side. And the first one, dude. All right, so these are all ones that are actually going around. And we're just going to determine real or fake. I cannot. This first one is crazy. Someone was having fun. Someone was just enjoying themselves, having a laugh, goofing on us. Clearly 1000% fake. This looks like a George Lopez flashback scene. You guys remember in George Lopez when they'd flashback to him in like as a kid or something, and it's just George Lopez's big head on a little kid body? That's what happened here. Someone tried, I don't know, a combination of AI and Photoshop, which I think is the trick. That's the way to make a fake leak look convincing, is you first make it with AI, but then you go in with Photoshop and you take away some of the obvious AI-isms of these photos. But this dude's head is huge. That Robert Downs Jr.? I should not laugh at that, but that was good. That was good. So clearly fake. Clearly fake, okay? Now I want to get into some of these ones. Okay. This one popped up. I don't know, guys. I don't know. There's been a lot of these white backdrop photos that have appeared online because there was a whenever they did Daredevil season 2 photos, they had photos of Daredevil and Bullseye behind a white background. And if you go through Infinity War, when Infinity War came out, they also did this similar thing of like a white backdrop, right? It definitely has a polish to it. I'm not going to say it's an AI sheen, but you know how AI, at least AI a year ago, had this obvious sheen, this obvious design feel where you can just spot it right away that like, oh, that cat holding up a car, that's AI. Why? Because you could tell because of just the texture of it. I can see some people thinking that, but this to me just looks like a professional photo shoot being done. Some people said that's not Toby's nose. All right, let me see if I can pull up a Toby Maguire nose photo. So I'm not saying it is real, but I am a little like here. I'm trying to find the best Toby nose. I don't know. That looks pretty close to me, man. Here, I'm about to pull it up for you. I know I wish I could do a side by side, but try to get a good look here. Okay. Oh, I was trying to zoom in. Okay, he's got it looks like he has a little like a little butt crack at the tip and a slight oh, perfect. It's right here next to him so we could just jump back and forth. Okay. Little butt crack and kind of a push down here. The butt crack is missing. But see here, I barely see the butt crack here. I I don't know, guys. All I'm saying is, I will say possibly fake, but if I'm being honest with you, I am 50-50 on this one. I know that's crazy to say. I know some people, because I think the funniest part about all this is people are going, obviously AI, obviously AI. When I'm like, I think it's going to be so funny when some of these get revealed and people are like, that was real? That like let me give you another one, for instance. These came in a pair. We had this one, Vanessa Kirby and Kevin Feige. Okay. Look at the Vanessa Kirby one. Instantly, I think how smooth and porcelain her skin looks, which makes me think, yes, it's Vanessa Kirby, but it looks like someone's imitation of Vanessa Kirby, where like this would be a wax figure, like a wax doll, right? So that's the vibe I get when I look, and people said, look at her eyes. Yeah. So like this one, yes. And I think that's the trick. I think the person leaking these out, whether they're just having fun or doing this, because a lot of them is coming from a Twitter account known Ember on Main, which we are taking seriously because they used to post 100% credible set photo leaks back in the No Way Home days. You think about like the Green Goblin photo where it looked like Logan Paul was in the suit, or no, Jake Paul was in the suit, or just the 3 suits hanging out. Like she posted a ton of confirmed leak photos months in advance. So it seemed like she had some sources, and that's the only reason. Okay. But I'm thinking they're mixing them. So they had this photo that I'm thinking is fake. This one, I'm like, yeah, this one probably is fake. It's just Vanessa Kirby's skin looks too smooth and fake. I might be 50-50 on this one. Okay. But then take a look at Kevin Feige in this one. That one's 100% real. You can argue with me on that one. That is 100% real. That is what a real face looks like textured up. Like, okay, look. Fake skin. Obviously, photos. It could, if it's a real photo shoot, whoever had to do the editing job, which is a real job, they went too far. They went too far with the concealer and the blush and the blending in Photoshop. You made her look like a wax figure. This is real. This is a real photo. That's Kevin Feige. So to me, it feels like whoever is leaking this, we are soon in the near future going to get, and this might be version 2 of Chair Day. You know how they had the chair reveal? Version 2 of Chair Day might just be superhero in front of a white background. That might be Chair Day number 2 and how they do it. And these photos could be the start of that. People have pointed out this is most likely Robert Downey Jr. who's hugging Kevin Feige. They've like narrowed down like the hairline and this suit that Robert Downey Jr. and you can even see like his glasses peeking through. That is probably Robert Downey Jr. hugging Kevin Feige in this photo. So that means there is a bigger photo of this. And that's an obvious Avengers hat. So I believe this one. This one is like real, without a doubt. So the cap looks fake? How? I understand on another one, because here I have all the other ones that came out. These were all the other photos, which again is of Kevin Feige. Look at the jacket. Let's ignore all these other ones because we will talk about them. But look at Kevin Feige. I understand some people saying the cap looks fake because they said that the A is inverted, when really it could just mean Kevin Feige's facing the other way and the photo's inverted. But you see this jacket? You have this right there. Oh, 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 I think we just... All right, something's fishy here. Looking at Kevin Feige's jacket, it doesn't hang off. If you look at this one, it's hanging off. So one of these is the real Feige, and one of these is fake Feige. One of these is Kevin Feige, the other one is Kevin Feige. Oh, someone said different shoot, other side. I don't know. Both sides look like they don't hang off. Like this feels... Oh, wait, you're right. Oh, because this button has to connect. And maybe with the angle here, we don't see. So you're right. And that would also make sense with the inverted A. It is the other side. Oh, guys. This is crazy. This is insane. We're discovering something. AI really got us overthinking. I know, it really is. It has. Okay, so all I'm saying is I think the Kevin Feige ones, and now that you pointed that out, especially with this button, it most likely is. So this is the part that hangs off because it comes over to button on top of this. So that makes sense why this part is hanging off, although we don't see it from this angle. And then with the A being inverted, if we're looking at Feige from this side, this would be right. And again, I know you're like, there is not AI, at least I don't think so, that advanced where you can recreate the same photo from a different angle. When you try telling AI, hey, can you take this photo from like the Kevin Feige's back shots? The Kevin Feige back shot's going to look different. They're going to be hitting different. Kevin Feige back shots will be hitting different. I got to write down, add a clapping sound effect. All right, so, all right, we're here. We're doing like that. All right, so let's look at some of these other ones. When it came to, here, sorry. I'm trying to get back to where I was. So these were the other ones that were also let out with this, with Kevin Feige. I honestly believe the Doctor Strange one too. The skin, this is a low quality photo, but the skin looks natural. It doesn't look smoothed out or textured up with AI. I've seen people make the argument that there's two necklace lines. And even if we look at some of the other ones, the necklace is much lower than here. I'm like, okay, that is true. Let me see here. On here, it's a little lower. And this one probably is, because he has two eyes of Agamotto here. But I don't know. This close-up, I kind of believe. But when you look at like how that one has two eyes of Agamotto, different size necklace, we could probably say then, okay, they probably got us here. They could have just used old... My thing is, if you're going to fake a Doctor Strange, why would you just give him the exact same suit from all the other movies? What's the fun in that? Why not give him an interesting suit? Especially since the concept art showed we're going to be getting... I forget the name of that Doctor Strange, but the Doctor Strange that works with Doctor Doom, why wouldn't they AI that costume where he's like wearing green and all that? General Doctor Strange or something like that, I think is his name. You know? So just a thought. And yeah, people say he doesn't have the Eye of Agamotto. You're right. Okay, this Shang-Chi one though, I gotta find this one in high quality because this Shang-Chi leak is hilarious. Cause that ain't Simu. That's Simu. Shang-Chi leak. I gotta. Oh my god! And I just see more and more, bro. Okay. All right. So let me see if I can find the exact one. I gotta see if I can get it. Cause that low quality version I have. Oh my god! I'm glad I did not let you guys see what I'm looking at right now. Cause an Asian girl booty just popped up. That would have been the end of this stream. Dang it, man. I can't find it. Okay. We're just gonna have to be... Even from this one, you'll be able to tell that ain't Simu Liu. You zoom in, that's a whole different man. That's not Simu Liu. And also, people have brought up, if you count the rings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's supposed to have 10 rings. 10. So this ain't Simu Liu, unless it's his stunt double, and like Simu Liu couldn't be there that day, and they were just gonna Photoshop him in later. That ain't him. This one, on the other hand, though, this one right below, that it's another one that, like, it got me, man. That does look like Simu Liu pretty accurately. People have even looked at this ear, and he has like a little hole in it. Maybe he had like an earring or something, or maybe it's a mole. And people went and they got that mole on there exactly. I would be so disappointed though if this one's real, because people also pointed out that his suit lost the dragon texture. His old suit from the first movie has like dragon scale skin. This is just plain old leather. So it'd be like they CW'd his suit. I'm like, oh, that sucks. That sucks. What is going on in the chat? Why is this spamming 6-7? Did I say 6-7? I didn't say. Oh, I did say 7. Dang it. Dang it.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Freaking chat. All right, back to investigating these leaks. Carol Danvers ones, I honestly feel like they could be real just because of how basic it all looks. I feel like this one is real, and then this one was the AI one. Like this one, somebody took this real one, this real photo that was leaked, threw it into ChatGPT and said, hey, can you make the rest of the suit? And then ChatGPT made the rest of the suit. So on that. Loki one, same thing, because we had a close-up of Loki, and I think they just gave him the rest of the suit. Okay, so those are interesting. I don't believe this one. That's not Tobey Maguire. That's Tobey McDonald. That's not Mr. Maguire's face. I know Tobey's face. In fact, let me go to my Tobey sound bites. Oh, I don't.
Oh boy, yeah.
That guy don't say, oh boy, yeah.
Gonna cry? Oh, my back!
I don't know. And there's a lot of that. There's been more. And these are the people who are jumping onto the trend. So fake, agree. And then this one pops up. This is obvious. This one you could just do like the quick take, and you can see, especially when it comes to like the blurred hand and all that, has that AI sheen. I don't believe it. Would have been, it still passed for a good like promotional photo, but it's another one. This Toby's gonna touch you. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Then this Andrew Garfield one, which I'm like, come on, dude. I would kill for this to happen. As of right now, I don't even believe Andrew Garfield would be in Doomsday. If he does show up, it's going to be Secret Wars, which kind of makes me scared for Toby because I don't want him to die in Doomsday. But that would also give motivation and more room for Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland's Spider-Man to have an adventure or do something there. But there's that. This one's obviously fake. I don't believe this one. I think this one though is a mix of Photoshop, because I think I could find like this promotional still, and there's tons of concept art of like the Sam Raimi Venom suit. So yeah, no. Okay, these ones just popped up today, and y'all gonna hate me. So this one, I believe fake, 100%. James Marsden ain't making that face. What is that face? That I just no. What is this face? And also, people have pointed out that Monica Rambeau's suit does not match what she has posted online. And this one, you definitely makes me think AI, because that does not look like Channing Tatum. That's Channing Tatum. And they're just using the AI of that one leaked photo that I do think is real. That had Toby and Channing Tatum with like the blood on it. So totally fake. I don't believe this one. Someone else said, what, that the phone? Yeah, the phone does look crazy. That's the iPhone 17 with the camera enlarged. The camera is too, it doesn't even look like that. Oh my goodness, good catch. It's like the 17 and the 14 combined, because this is what it looked like now. And it has the square from the previous one. Yeah, it's not real. It's not real. Okay, now I just said all that. And I don't know, guys. This one I'm looking at, and I'm feeling different. I'm feeling different. I can't find AI errors in this one. And that's the thing. Like, I know it's probably still fake, but there is enough, like, just normalness in this video, in this one, that it feels, I know, like, people say, like, 100% AI, 1000% AI. I don't know, man. Like, some people saying so fake. Where's the 3 fingers? Who has 3 fingers? I'll zoom in on that. Well, that's Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler has 3 fingers. That's Nightcrawler. I'll even look up with X-Men 2. X-Men 2 Nightcrawler fingers. Let me see. Maybe they didn't give him 3 fingers. Maybe you're right. I'm trying to find him. Yeah, he only had 3 fingers. I'm looking at them now. He only had 3 fingers in that movie. It's kind of hard to look at his fingers if I'm being honest. But they look like little nubs. Here, I'm trying to get to it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pulling it up. That way you can see for yourself. Right there, little Nightcrawler 3-finger nubs. Right there. So he's always had the 3-finger nubs. And I saw someone else trying to debunk it too. And I wanted, so I'm trying to look for the best way to debunk it. Trust me, nobody wants to debunk these and not look like a fool other than me. Someone said, oh, you could tell it's fake because Alan Cumming already said he didn't put on blue makeup for the movie. That is not true. I thought that was true, and that would make sense because given the actor's age, he's like in his 60s, mocap suit, all this stuff, and he did say in interviews he hated the 4 to 5 hour process it would take to put on the makeup. I went and looked for the actual interview. He didn't say he didn't put on the makeup. He said that they got the makeup process down from 4 to 5 hours to 90 minutes, meaning he does put on makeup for the movie. He is probably going to end up looking like this. I'm like, okay. And that does, like, everyone's faces look like them. Channing Tatum looks like Channing Tatum. Monica Rambeau, Ian McKellen. Like, guys, this is what I'm talking about. And y'all are going to think I'm funny. This is where I'm like, whoever is leaking this is doing a genius thing. Where this is a real I think it's real. I'm leaning more real than fake. I know y'all going to think I'm crazy on that one. But I can't find any AI errors in the background. I can't find any weird anomalies. I don't see any weird, like, CGI sheen. Not CGI, but AI sheen to it. I think this is like a real photo that then whoever's leaking this also put this photo and whatever other photos they have and said, hey, can you make these characters do this? And then they created an AI fake out of a real photo. Because I agree with you guys. This one is clearly fake. I mean, James Marsden, I can't even picture him making that zesty face. Monica Rambeau, now that I'm looking at her, is looking very off. That ain't Channing Tatum, unless that's a stunt double. That's Channing Tatum. But look at how the costume is so similar and downright accurate to this photo that I'm thinking is real. Look at this. Look at this. You get what I mean? That's what I'm thinking this guy is doing. Whoever is leaking this is being smart and having fun with us and throwing out a real photo, but then adding 3 fake versions of it to go along with it. I don't know. And someone said, no, I don't get what you mean. Like, okay, so again, if I'm thinking this is a real photo that they're using to then make more, you can see then how this suit is a polished AI version of the accurate suit. Look at the lines here. Look at all the other lines. The actual detail. The detail that would be muddled or weird if you told AI to do it. So if I took this photo that I think is real and said, hey, this guy in the blue, can you actually put him in a photo sticking his tongue out? This is the AI version. It's much smoother, a lot less lines. Can't even see the lines there. It's a polished AI version of it. That's what I mean. Again, just my theory. I get that I'm sounding crazy, and that Unk has lost it. So it says, didn't have the blood then, and I'd believe. What does it say? Channing, if Channing didn't have the blood, then I'd believe it. Yeah, but I mean, if it's part of the same scene as that Tobey Maguire one that I'm thinking of, it's just a continuity to keep it there. But like the blood here looks a lot more fake to me, like a lot more exaggerated and dumb than this one. Okay, now that I'm looking, it's about the same. I don't know. All I'm saying is, it would not surprise me this one is real. I know I'm crazy. The other thing that like trips me up about it is I do think, but also that's part of the vibe. Like there's a full-on leather jacket for Patrick Stewart, X-Men, but I'm also like, well, yeah, Kevin Feige's trying to pay homage to that era. It actually makes sense. All the suits are very leathered up, but colorful, because it's an evolution of the 2000s movies that were all leather suits. So honestly, this whole leather suit kind of makes sense. And if you go to the photo, which I guess doesn't help my case, but if you go to the bag photo, let me see if I go back to it. I know I'm sounding crazy, but you guys are gonna wait. You wait till y'all find out this one's real, and then you're gonna be like, Chris knew. He knew. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But the Doomsday bag leak, all the suits accurate with this. And I know you're saying, well, duh, Chris, they use this as the reference to make the suit. Again, think about that process, though. Think about you doing that. Think about you taking this photo and saying the guy in blue, Nightcrawler, whatever, you accurately describe it to the AI and say, make them realistic in a behind-the-scene photo. AI is not that good yet. To perfectly recreate all the costumes we're seeing here of the characters that are in that photo, is AI that good? If it is, recreate that photo for me right now. Recreate that photo for me right now. That's all I'm saying. I know I probably lost the chat, but actually AI is that good. But some of it is. I will say some of it is. But I think to that point, I don't know. But you're absolutely right. I guess maybe like we are getting to that point that AI is that good now. I really hate to say it, but it really is getting that good. It takes a while to generate, bro. You're right. Hey, next stream, I'll see your guys' leak. The leaks are making me go crazy for sure. But all I'm saying is, I actually kind of believe that one. I know I might be wrong. I might be that, but I'm having the same kind of gut reaction I did when I saw the Toby one, which I don't even know if it's real. But all I'm saying is, as weird as this one looks, I kind of believe. And in fact, while I was gone, I think I saw on Twitter, there's been more that popped up. So let's look at this, and maybe this will strengthen or weaken my argument, because there's more. I'm telling you, the person leaking this is leaking a real photo and then 3 or 4 fake AI photos by that photo. So we have another one. Right, so this is the photo I'm thinking might be real, right? This is like my mind. I'm like, I kind of believe this one. And then this is a fake, obviously a fake, because she didn't even post this on her story. So that's a fake. And then here's the other one. Okay. Let's investigate. In the photo that we were just looking at, did Ian McKellen's beard get that big? It is kind of. It is kind of. The suit is much more muted. Okay, let's investigate. Any anomalies, anything weird you guys are catching with it? I mean, even Patrick Stewart's thing right there. Is that a zipper? Does he have a zipper? Yeah, I can't tell. I don't know, man. It's wild. His jacket isn't a zipper one. Look at his neck. Look at his neck. Which one? It is crazy. Honestly, and he also looks like he aged 10 more years in between. Look at Patrick Stewart's face. I'm trying to zoom here. Let me just add it to the thing so we could zoom in. Patrick Stewart's face looked like it aged 10 years in between photos. It's kind of crazy. I know it's silly and all that, and there probably are fake guys. I'm just like, what if they're not, though? You know, what if they're not? Wouldn't that be wild, guys? Where the heck did that photo just go? I just saved it. Hang on, guys. Let me get back up here. Save image as. That's desktop. Okay, cancel. It went to the desktop. That's why. All right. Okay, good. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna zoom in and we're gonna get to the bottom of this. I'll definitely put it up. I'll put up a poll so we can see where we stand and you guys can be honest. Here, I'm gonna put the poll up right now as we're looking up at this. So let me zoom in on Patrick Stewart's face so you guys can see what I mean. Because in between photos, he definitely got way older. Okay. So here's the new one. Look at Patrick Stewart's face. Like, I get that he's old too, but that looks like an exaggeration. That's what I'm telling you. Like, this one is an AI. I'll even say the skulls look a little too sheen. The skulls look a little too sheen where they add a little. Oh, I like this M on his belt. That's cool. Did he have that in the other photo? Did he have the M? Kinda. He has the same M. Maybe just because it's a little far away, he doesn't look that old. Dope. Rebecca looks AI. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to put the poll up and then we're going to look at a few more and then we'll call it quits. I know you guys think I'm crazy, but I'm just like, think about that. I feel like if you had real photos, you would use that photo to then make a couple more and then you'd have fun. What happened to my poll? Why? Sorry, my browser changed it. Is this not? I'd have to do it on the actual. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. Because I do want to know how many of y'all actually also believe it. And if you have like a thing where you can disprove it, put it up on the Reddit. And I'd love to see it. I'm not trying to be proven right. If I'm proven wrong, I'll be happy to. But I'm just like, I'm trying to prove it wrong. And I'm like, I don't know. They got me at every turn. They got me at every turn, these guys. That's how they get you. That's how they nab you, these fools. All right. Sorry, guys. I forgot to log in. All right. I'm going to put up the poll now. I just want to see how many of you start a poll. So I'm going to add an option. Just this one specifically. This one that I'm talking about. This one specifically. Not the other two. Because this is the one that I'm a little bit more convinced. Is the X-Men photo AI? Okay. I'm going to put yes, no, and I'm put possibly real. I just want to know if anybody's on the fence like me, because I am a little. All right, there. Polls up. But then there's like other ones that I'm like, again, more obviously fake. Like these Pedro Pascal ones. I don't believe this one at all. This one I'm just like, okay. That you didn't even try on that one, buddy. The actual lines on the jacket look done on paint. Like Microsoft Paint. And why? That's just bad design too. A 4 and a 4 right next to each other. Nah, man. I'm not. So this one, like, obviously, yeah, I don't believe it. This one, I don't think this is the final costume because this jacket looks nothing like it. But that looks like a kind of a photo shoot moment. Like, I'm just like, I see a clear difference in some of it. But again, I'm like, that could easily be fake. Even the way his stomach and chest is done, it looks like it's a little, like, has that sheen, you know? There's this one that's supposedly a concept art. I will say out of all, this one's probably fake too. But out of the recurring thing with the Doctor Doom and Robert Downey Jr. ones is they keep giving him this line scar and a little bit of scars on the side of the face. And so it's just interesting. These people didn't even try, whoever made these. This might have been a joke because these are just obvious old photos from different movies that have just been photoshopped onto a white background. This is just this isn't even AI. This is just classic Photoshop having some fun there. So yeah, let me see what the poll is saying. All right. I guess I convinced enough of you. 36% believe yes, it's AI. 22% say no. Y'all think like just straight up it's real. And then some of you, 42%, a little like, okay, possibly. James Marsden's neck, people said. What about his neck? Which one? What's on his neck? He got good neck? Oh, you know what? I see what you mean. It looks like his Adam's apple's bulging out there. That could be a shadow thing. I will say that because you see where the shadow's leaning. But yeah, that's a possible one. You're right. That neck does look a little like maybe he just swallowed a jawbreaker right before saying cheese. I don't know, man. I do not know. It's crazy. His pinky. Oh, that's a good one too. His pinky do look off. You guys are finding real things. This pinky does look weird. That pinky do look weird. I wouldn't shove that up my nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? The Adams, you guys are convincing me more. You're convincing me more. What also could be a thing, which again, just my conspiracy theory here time. All three of these photos fake, right? All three of them. This could be a real thing. All three of these photos, like these two, I am pretty certain. Like, yeah, I don't believe these. Okay, what about this? They're all fake. These three. But again, the person leaking this is referencing the actual costumes, the actual photos, and creating these designs. So in a weird way, they are leaking what the suits look like, what the cast members look like, all the final designs, but the photo themselves isn't real, but it's based off the real costume. I've lost it. The plot is gone. My mind, mush. I don't know, man. It's just funny. We know Marvel does this. We know Marvel be doing this. So anything's possible. But yeah, you guys let me know. It's just been a crazy week. I didn't even talk about the other Toby. Like, ever since the Toby one appeared, there's been like 1,000 Toby ones. The one I'm using as the thumbnail for my photo, like, I think that one's AI too. But dang, does it look semi-convincing. It looks semi-convincing. And there's even been like a little leak here. Not a leak, but a report from Daniel RPK, which I find kind of interesting. Let me see if I can get back into the browser so I can talk about this. Daniel RPK was talking about how Toby has like a CGI suit. Tobey Maguire CGI suit. This is a supposed report from the set where he said here, Tobey Maguire will reportedly wear a CGI suit in Avengers Doomsday. That was from Daniel RPK. And that freaked out a lot of people. I know it freaked out me because I'm like, man, I like his suit. It's such a good suit. It's like a suit that doesn't even need to be touched up. And I think that was one of the problems in No Way Home. They kept putting CGI over Toby, and it didn't look natural, specifically on his mask and the lenses. It just did not look right. And then here we go. My Time to Shine Hello clarified, saying Tobey Maguire was only in a mocap suit for Avengers Doomsday at first because his new suit wasn't ready yet. I kind of believe that. Toby's suit is a little difficult to make because of all the lines, and it's one of the reasons the No Way Home suit is not like the actual classic Toby suit, because the lines, the webbing, isn't actually raised on the No Way Home suit. It's just imprinted on there and made to look it. See, like if you see here, the web isn't even being raised. It's all flat on the suit because that webbing is a pain in the butt and comes off a lot. And that was a problem during filming of the old movies, so they didn't want to deal with that. And so they just gave him a printed webbing suit, which I think, unfortunately, you could tell the difference in the movie. Maybe they were trying to go back to that classic suit. Maybe they were actually making him then the suit like the way it was supposed to be, because fans complained like me. And it wasn't ready. It wasn't ready. It did seem like that. But yeah, you guys let me know what y'all think about this. It's just been crazy, all these Doomsday leaks. Let me see if there's anything else right before we go. Doomsday leak. Look at this one. What is this? Low-key, though, would not be a bad suit. If that ended up being like the suit for Doctor Doom, just actually give him a Doctor Doom mask. Not that bad. Not that bad. But this one I don't believe. This one I don't believe at all. This one I don't believe. That's Toby. Okay, well, this one. Yo, can someone send me a link to this one? I'm going to have to investigate that on my own time. Oh, I forgot to bring up this one. I forgot. This one clearly AI. This one is like, then this is what I mean about the dead giveaways. One, this has the shiny, clean look, but the real thing that gave it away is if you look at the lips, they gave the metal mask lip texture. Obvious fake. Super obvious fake. That's what I mean. Like, that's just not even trying on that one, dude. Come on. Yeah, I forgot to include that one in there. That one's just straight up. Nah. That's someone that was just having fun. These are the ones I'm telling you about. I don't know what to make of these. Because, like, some of these could be real. Because it's just so random. Like, this is supposed to be supposedly, like, Steve Rogers' house. Maybe. And this is what Dr. Doom's face looks like. Like, I'm telling you, whoever's leaking this keeps putting the same scar in the same locations. So whether these photos are real or not, it's like somebody knows where the scars are supposed to be and are recreating it either in Photoshop or in AI. But yeah, you guys are gonna have to let me know, man. Oh, these are real for sure. My uncle, dad / boyfriend works at Marvel. He told me these are real. I don't know who these guys are. I think they were generated by AI. All right. Let's go to the Reddit. Hopefully you guys will have some more things to help me back up. Oh, dang, what is this? Okay, now this one, someone said, I made a fake James Marsden Cyclops leak. Ooh. Okay, let's examine this. 3C didn't believe AI was good enough, so I asked for this in 30 seconds. Okay, thank you. No, I like this. Okay. So let's see. Did you use the ones from the suit as a reference? How did you what was your decision? Low key, I'm not even gonna lie. I want this one to be real because I like the yellow buckle, but dang, that does actually look good. That does. Watch, someone from Marvel's actually watching this and they just gave us a first look. Everything is a conspiracy theory. This is where I become the earth is flat guy when it comes to these AI photos that are semi-convincing. I am more likely to believe, no, someone from Marvel's watching and they just sent me a real photo as opposed to a fan who just faked it. I think you work for Marvel, dude. I think you work for Marvel. Yeah, this suit would definitely be very different, but cool. I'd love to know the prompt you put in to get that. But all right, you proved me wrong. It is that good. Look closely at Mystique's neck. Her head was photoshopped on. Also, watch this. Ah, is her head photoshopped? How would you even, like, can tell about that? But see what I mean is if it's photoshopped from where, though? Where'd that photo coming from? So I'm telling you. Is it a mix of real or AI? Someone said fake. Shadows are not natural. Could be true. I guess you're right? Because with this light peeking through, wouldn't the shadows point this way instead of, unless they got a heavier light above them? I ain't no expert. The thing that would make it easier if they could just show me a photo of Tobey Maguire's dick. Because then I would just know to look at it. And I'd look closely at it. The way the light hits Tobey Maguire's dick. That's the litmus test. I think what we've learned from this, though, is I'm definitely getting scammed when I'm older. Yeah, see, this one I think is fake. That don't look like Robert Downey Jr. That looks like Robert Jr. And he just happens to be down. Oh, another one? Okay, now this one gotta be fake. All fake, shadows are off, and Patrick Stewart didn't post these. Yeah, well, that's for sure. He would not post these. And we have not heard about. But see, like, this one is what I mean clearly. Like, you can see several obvious signs about this one being fake. Number one, Halle Berry isn't even in the cast, and she's wearing the Monica Rambeau suit. Two, same thing with the Jean Grey actress. She said multiple times not in the movie, and it doesn't even sound like a Andrew Garfield thing. Like, she's just straight up, they have not talked to me. Also, Beast's face is on Nightcrawler. And so it's like, and he has all 5 fingers. This is what I mean, though. This is a clearly multiple things obvious point out that it's not real. But the other ones, not as obvious, not as many. I'm just losing it. I'm just losing it, man. I'm just losing it. Yeah, these are other ones that popped up today. This one I like that's just terrible Photoshop right there. They just put an A sticker on that suit. This could just be a promo photo. Sylvia, I like that suit. See, like this one might be real. Doesn't that just seem real? I'm getting scammed. I'm just gonna show y'all my credit card now. That way it saves me the trouble in the future. Why even bring her? I understand why you'd bring her. She's of age, right? Unc losing his mind on stream.
Looking at Kevin Feige's jacket, it doesn't hang up. If you look at this one, it's hanging up. Oh, wait, you're right.
I can't play more of it because I'll get copyrighted, but I'm going to want to watch that later. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, that one's just fake. We've talked about that. That one, smash. Well, same. That's it, y'all. We all know Chris's fantasy. Oh. I don't even know what to believe anymore, y'all. I've just lost my mind. refresh. Okay, let me see. Let me see if you guys. Well, this is just out of context. I'm still in the. Okay, well, but see, okay, this is a clearly fake one, probably like a free software. Million things. First off, Robert's not that freaky, I would know. Second of all, look closely at Dr. Doom's Badoongle. Yeah, not happening. This one blew my mind, though. You did a good job. And I've seen these versions online. There's like a whole TikTok account where all they do, my dad has sent me them, where like all they do is show you like behind the scenes. This is where I'm like, that is like freaking good, unfortunately. Let me send it to myself and open it up. Because I look at that and I'm like, dude, we're cooked. Yeah, there it is. It's all people I don't even recognize, though. Oh, the video's gone. Oh, what? Oh, video got Disney. Disney came in. Them Disney lawyers were quick. That mouse showed up to their house and said, "You're not gonna know what it's like to be 30. Why, Mr. Mickey? I don't know, but you'll find out." There you go. That's what happens. That mouse got him. Yeah, I saw. You guys have probably seen those, right? Maybe I could quickly find it. AI Disney live action movie set. This isn't me supporting it, but it's definitely an example of how good that stuff gets. Where is it? Was there one? Because there was like a ton of them too. I was like, what? Size, anytime, let's say past week. Dude. Nope, not gonna be able to find it. Although, what the heck? Oh, there it is. But see, it's this one. It's not gonna let me click it because once I go on, it's gonna be video unavailable unless it's another repost. Live action tours. Does somebody repost it? Oh, this one?
This is my cast proposal for starting off.
Okay. That did not do anything. Oh, did I click the wrong one? Oh, yeah, right here.
Oh my god.
Trying to hide the sound because if not, I'll get. There we go. Bro, one of these almost got me. I'm not going to lie. And that's where, like, you guys are right. AI is that good. And, like, this is a video, though. You could still see some of the sheen and all that, but it's like, dude, this one, if I wasn't in the movie space and I was just a regular guy working my job and coming home, I'd be like, oh, honey, they're making one. And they even got a kid that looked just like Sid, got a big head and everything. It's insane, dude. It's insane, dude. AI slop. Agreed. AI slop. I don't love it. But for someone earlier where I was like, AI is not that good, and someone responded to me, no, AI is that good. I'm like, oh, wait, you're right. It is that good. It's unfortunate, but it's gotten that good, unfortunately. Good as in believable. Now we're like the line, because I'll show you another thing that I thought was crazy. So this is a real shot from Toy Story 5. They revealed an official look of the movie. It's the Buzz Lightyear dolls that we've heard about in the film. Okay, I don't mean this as an insult. I know nowadays that's an easy cheap shot to be like, the movie feels like it was written by AI. The movie looks AI. This photo looks AI to me. I know it's real, and again, I'm not meaning that as a negative. I'm meaning that in a way where it's like, dude, the line between AI and actual human-made content, the line is blurring. The line is blurring so much. Like it has that kind of realistic weird sheen that AI had, like especially coming off Buzz's helmet there. And I'm just like, yeah, Unk's brain is melting. Like that's just what I mean. It's crazy. And so when people say that now, like it looks AI, I don't even that's not even dissing, I think, movies now. That's just showing you how scary close AI is getting to by next year. It's just gonna be unfortunately on that. So me talking about these photos that I don't know real or not, it's just there. It's just there. I'm AI. Y'all just don't know it yet. Okay. That was fun. That was fun. I hated everything. Chris, let me make an AI of you so I can kiss you. I do not support it. No, I better not even joke about that. I'll get canceled. Because I really don't, guys. I really don't support AI and all that. But I will admit, unfortunately, sometimes AI makes me laugh and I hate it. It's like you've done it too. There's a couple of Sora videos sometimes that'll pop up, and before I realize it's a Sora video, the obvious AI thing happens, and I'll bust out laughing, and I just want to stop it. AI's not funny. No, stop it, Daddy. I didn't mean to. Oh, dude, I hate it. I hate it. All right. How are you guys? Y'all good? Let's just get to the questions. Let's get to the numbers. I need to have a Dead Meat theme song. Easiest horror franchise to binge through. I would have said Scream. I think Scream is like pretty good, especially if you don't know the killers, because then it's just fun and there's a guessing game every time and the inventive commentary. I just think the commentary is lost in the later sequels, unfortunately, even though I still like those movies. So other than that, I honestly would not say Friday the 13th. I'll tell you the ones I don't think. Friday the 13th, no. I love Jason. I don't think the movies start becoming really enjoyable until he's zombie Jason. So like part 4, part 5. Yeah, part 4 is still pretty good. To say, oh, you gotta kind of get through 3 okay movies. So sorry. So it wouldn't be Jason. You would say, then people go, okay, what about Halloween? Well, Halloween starts strong with the first and the second movie that I really like. And I do like the third movie, the anthology, but if we're just going straight up there, it all just comes down to taste. It's like, yeah, you can binge it if it's Halloween, but I think it goes off the rails once you hit 5, then 6, and then was there a 7th one? There is a 7th one, or is the 7th one was H2O? So I don't know. Iffy on that one. Trust me, I think Elm Street, yes. To me, the quality stays consistent. The world is fun. But, I've recommended to some people and they don't. Chucky's another one. I don't know. Texas Chainsaw, no. There's like, immediate, like, Texas Chainsaw is such an up and down roller coaster. So honestly, I might just have to say Scream. I don't think I'm going Scream. I would say you have to have at least 5 movies. When you're talking about horror franchise to binge. Because Terrifier is just at 3 right now, so that's just a trilogy. But yeah, you guys let me know. So we gonna talk about how you met John Campia. It was my second time meeting Mr. Camper. Mr. Campia, I got to meet him. Let me see if I'll pull up the photo he posted, which not a very flattering photo of me, but then again, that's more my fault than his fault. Let's see here. Where's his post? Yeah, he had it here. One of the great things about movie meetups we've been doing across the country is the chance to meet up with you guys in the space. Chris 3C Films out in Dallas and Sean Chandler in Austin, and I'm there. It was cool, dude. It was really nice. Like I said, I met Campia when I went to the world premiere of Ballerina. I met him there. I went up to him, shook his hand, I told him all that, and he said he was familiar with me. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But it was just kind of fun because it was here at a local theater in Dallas. He's doing his like movie meetups. And so I decided to go after the movie ended because they were watching Running Man. I already saw it once and I really didn't want to watch it again. So I just showed up, timing it to when the movie would be over. And dude, he had a large crowd. It was at least like genuinely like 80, 90 people there. It was a large crowd. Let me see if he has the photo. Yeah, it was a lot of mofos there. And I got self-conscious. I got a little self-conscious because I went to kind of toot my own horn. I'm not going to lie. Because it's like, yeah, I get to meet Campy again, but also I'll meet some fans. I'll meet some people that love me, you know, get a little photo with me, you know, make me feel like I'm important. For the first like 20 minutes of this meetup, nobody recognized me. Like 2 people recognized me. And I was like, oh, this is embarrassing. And some people were even looking at me like, why are you taking a photo with this guy? Campy is right there. Who's this guy? But then somebody, because then Campia had his line because he wanted to meet everybody individually, give them their own time to talk to them. Somebody, and I was like at the end of the line because I didn't want to be like, get out of my way, guys. I want to meet Campia already. Somebody in the front of the line said, it's cool. You're here. 3C Films here. And then Campia goes, 3C Films here where? And dude, it was like a movie, like a Disney movie because there was a crowd. And then when somebody said, 3C Films here where? It was like Moses' Ark, just, oh, is that even Moses, whatever, the guy who parted the sea. You go, oh, and then Campia's just staring at me, and then everybody just moved, and it's like, it was like prom. It was like, I'm gonna look closely at Tobey Maguire's dick now. Hi, Campia. And then once I got to the front of the line, many more people recognized me. I would say out of this entire group there, 30%, which I know might not seem that big. 30% of 90 people is still like, you know, 20, 25. I took a lot of photos, but not as many as the people that were there for Campia. So Campia's got the aura. But when I was up there, I did give a little speech about how because it's true. I've been watching Campia since the AMC days. I learned a lot from watching the way he does movie news and like deciphering what's real news, what's fake news. That's why I try to be as credible as possible, even though you just saw me fall for a bunch of AI photos. But no, it was cool. And yeah, it was nice. It was 30% only. I feel like that was still a good chunk of people, probably a little bit more. I mean, I'm being modest, but mostly people were there for Campia and they just knew Campia. And so that's cool. What did trip me up, and hopefully Campia doesn't get mad that I say this, which I was sad too, because somebody there asked him, is like, did you heard anything about Doomsday? And Campia did go, I did hear something that would blow y'all's minds, but I can't tell you. And I was like, oh, I would have made a video of it, Campia. So good thing he didn't say anything. But no, at the end, because he said he was trying to contact me on Instagram to go like grab dinner or something, but he couldn't DM me or something was wrong. And I was like, dang, I would have liked to have gone and have lunch or something with Campia, just talk to him about movie stuff and get some advice about things I want to do with the channel. Well, then his wife was there, Anne. And so as he goes back to talking to fans and taking photos, I go up to Anne and I'm like, hey, Anne, I just want to leave you my phone number. So if Campia wants to contact me or if you guys swing by Dallas again, we could meet up and all that. And Anne she goes, oh, it's nice putting a face to your voice. And I was like, huh? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, because he watches you. So I know what you sound like and I know your brand, 3C, but I didn't really like know your face. And I was like, no way. I was like, that's kind of cool. Cause I'll tell you, when I go at night to like do my face routine, I like wash my face, brush my teeth, do all that stuff. I usually put John Campia's clips on a topic I'm interested in. If I can watch his show, I will. But nowadays, I just like watch the clips of his channel that I'm on a topic I'm interested in. I want to hear what he has to say. And so she laughed because I told her that. I was like, that's so funny because I listen to him when I'm doing my night routine, and she goes, "You boys are all the same." It was just kind of cool. It was just like it's nice to support each other. Now I know some people don't like Campy, and some people don't like me, but like that's what I like is like, because I disagree sometimes a lot with Campia, especially when he talks about horror. He does not like to give horror its respect, which, you know, it's not the genre he likes. But that's what I liked is like, and that's what I miss is when people can, and I think some of you guys feel that way with me sometimes, disagree with my takes, disagree with my opinions, but you still watch and have a conversation. And that's what I miss instead of just, you're a shill. You got me. You got me. So that's cool and all. That's cool and all. I was trying to think if anything else happened, but no, that was about it. That was about it. It was just cool. It was just cool, man. All right. Thoughts on Dairy episode 4 and thoughts more in depth explanation on Pennywise's origin from 4. Okay, so yes. Since you guys have really been asking for me, and I feel bad because I've been letting you down. When this Sunday the episode premieres, I'll be doing a video. And I'll touch upon my thoughts on 3 and 4, but I'll mainly be talking, obviously, about episode 5. And that's also supposed to be the episode Pennywise finally emerges and becomes more prominent in the story, from what I've been told. So I'll get you a video then, guys. You're right. I should have been. If I'm being honest with you, well, it was 2 reasons I really wasn't doing the Dairy breakdowns. One, unfortunately, when episode 2 and 3, well, because 2 came out on Halloween, and I was already doing the Halloween stream, and I didn't know that the episode dropped in the morning, so I was already so late to it. And then 3 dropped when I had a family thing to do, so I just wasn't available. And since the show is also looking to connect so much Stephen King stuff, I felt like I'm not going to bring enough information or importance into my breakdowns because I'm just not that familiar into the Stephen King universe. I guess I'll know Dick Halloran, the character, and things like that, but I feel like maybe I'll be letting you guys down by just being like, episode was good. But it's been nice hearing you guys saying you want my thoughts, so definitely that. And the Stranger Thing, I see someone in the chat asking, finally, because I've been binging and all that. I just wrapped up on episode 4. In fact, I'll give you guys a little taste, although it's not going to be that big of a deal in part of the video, but I will touch upon it. I was out of town yesterday because I went to Nueva York. I went to New York so I could go watch the Stranger Things play and be 100% caught up for the show and those breakdowns. Here's me in front of like the marquee. So yeah, if you guys don't know, there's a play that is canon to the show. And yeah, they did reveal things in the play that I'm like, oh, we didn't know that about this character. That's going to be interesting for season 5 and things like that. And so it was called Stranger Things Foreshadow. So now that I've finally finished my rewatch of 1 through 4 and have seen this play, I'm planning on working on that video in the weekend and hopefully uploading it on Monday. Definitely before the newer episodes drop, because I will want to not even just break those down, just talk about those. And if I can finish it in time, I'd like to do like maybe even a live stream of just Stranger Things, talking about who we think is most likely to die, favorite characters, least favorite characters, things like that, just having some fun. So yeah. Yeah, the play is canon, although don't let that deter you, because I know I've seen a lot of people mad, even I was mad, which is one of the main reasons I wanted to go, because it's like, well, I want to be informed. They said things that happen in the play will be touched upon in season 5. So if anything, to me, going out to see the play was like getting a sneak peek at story details in season 5. And yeah, there's definitely things in there where I'm like, they're gonna have to explain that in season 5, because there's no way they're gonna just rely on the play knowledge, because they explain more how Eleven actually got her powers, Vecna, like his upbringing. Because I'll just say the play is about Vecna 1, the character 1, Henry Creel. He went to high school with Hopper, Joyce, Lucas's parents, Dustin's parents, Mike's parents, and they all interacted with Henry Creel and knew he was kind of a weirdo, even though there's more to the story there. But I'm like, how they never bring up that they had a whole adventure with Henry Creel. So it's like, I like some of the things it revealed, but it also was like a little too, y'all are trying to force this connection. So we'll see. Yeah, it's weird, but I'll talk about it in my video in a way that'll hopefully still save it for you guys. So yeah. And it was funny because at the thing, which is completely separate, at it since I was in New York, the new Marty Supreme movie with Timothy Chalamet, they had a pop-up there, and your bro stood in line for like 2.5 hours just so he can get himself the Marty Supreme jacket and rock it for you guys. Yeah, that's right. Be jealous. Your boy is a proud owner of a Marty Supreme jacket. Dream big. Dream big. So it was kind of cool that I was there right on time. Never heard of Marty Supreme. Oh, you gonna. I can't wait. I need to see it. It's a new Timothy Chalamet movie. It looks really good. A lot of people excited for it. All right. He got that shit. Oh, thank you. All right, let's move on. Let's see here. Why doesn't 3C cover Bollywood movies? Also, who can I go to for this information? Oh, go to Sean Chandler. I think you know that. Sean's very good at covering it and doing that. It's nothing against Bollywood movies. I just wouldn't even know where to start. There's a lot of international films that like one day I just want to start. Like I talk about, like I want to get more into Japanese horror because I've only seen a couple Japanese horror and I've enjoyed those. So it's like I want to dive deeper into that. And then, even then, Korean horror is also said to be really good. And Bollywood is just a whole different thing. I think I want to explore more in terms of like the way they treat action. Because I've seen a couple scenes from like RR like online or through clips on TikTok. And although, yes, it's ridiculous and exaggerated, I think there is something really cool about the way they film action that I kind of wish the states would take with their action to be a little bit more mystified, because we'd be so much closer to a Dragon Ball Z movie if they did stuff like that. So to me, it's just more I've never watched, unless you count like Slumdog Millionaire, which I don't think you do, right? But like that's the closest to a Bollywood movie I've ever seen. So I just wouldn't even know where to begin. So I wouldn't have much of an informed opinion if I started covering it. What are your thoughts on it? Welcome to Daredevil. So yeah, I just touched upon it. Sunday, you'll be getting it. You should watch Mollywood. What's Mollywood? What's that? Jonathan here, my boy. Go support Jonathan Fuji. I got him something nice from that pop-up. And let's just say he gonna repay me real good. No, I'm just kidding. Jonathan, I love you, man. I'd only do it for you. You're a cool dude. All right, let's say, what do we have? How would you do the black suit in the MCU? Okay, I would honestly ignore the setup that they've done already. I know people like it and it's there, but they've already done things where like they kind of ignore the Sony spin-off Spider-Verse. So I would ignore the whole Venom thing. I would ignore the whole Dot that he left behind, that it's been traveling in Mexico or doing all this, working its way to New York or something. I'd forget that. I'd even ignore the hive mind stuff. The hive mind where like the symbiote just has vast knowledge of the entire multiverse. That to me ruins a whole aspect that I find really interesting about the symbiote, is that when it goes from person to person, it collects that knowledge and it passes it on to its host. I'd rather that knowledge be earned and collected over time instead of just, oh, it's always there. Because that was one of the cool things about Venom, at least in the cartoon, was that like it was on Spider-Man, it left Spider-Man, and then it went to Flash Thompson. And because it was on Spider-Man, it has all the memories of Peter, it knows everything about Peter, and it informed that to Flash. And or no, Eddie Brock. Sorry, I'm thinking about Eddie Brock. Sorry, I got confused for a sec. And it gave that to Eddie Brock, and that was just then easy way for him to manipulate him, get into his life, use Spider Sense against him. So I'd honestly ignore all the things that were set up in the Tom Hardy version. I would make it a comet, just again, almost like the Sam Raimi movie that came in. Or if you want to introduce it in Secret Wars, since they're probably going to have an alien fight or something like that, make it from another universe or something like that. Sure, do that. Introduce in Secret Wars. The part where then I get conflicted on, I don't know what to do after that, is because Sam Raimi started the whole the symbiote turns you evil. The symbiote turns you, like, brings out your negative emotion. That's a Sam Raimi introduction, and some comics have followed that. Even the PlayStation Spider-Man story had followed that, and I do kind of like that because it gives an excuse for why Spider-Man would then let go of the suit, because it's turning him into something he's not. So I don't know whether we retread that or we do our own different version of that where it's not so dependent and like the host takes over. But I don't know, just some of the thoughts I have off my head as a fan. But I really do want it to be the thing where the suit gains the powers from Spider-Man. It has his memories. Spider sense doesn't work with him. Yeah, those are the things I like. Hey, Chris, it's my birthday. Hope all is well. Well, happy birthday, Leighton Davenport, 8276. Have a good one. Adrian Mendoza says, hey, Chris, think it's time for Children of the Corn reboot. Also, hurry up and watch Sopranos. That's actually something I do want to watch because I've never watched it. And it's one of those shows people say you should, right? There was a Children of the Corn reboot, believe it or not, just like a couple years ago. It happened during the pandemic. I just searched children corn, and now the FBI are at my door. And when I say children corn, literally children corn with a C, but as you know, that's the code word for children orn. So I'm screwed either way. Children of the corn, not children corn, because of the corn. There was a reboot that just happened in 2020. Oh, it was 2020 it came out. I have not watched it. It was funny because it only got like a 1 weekend limited theatrical release. I'm thinking the movie was made to keep the rights, which I think is the way a lot of Stephen King movies are done. Like Pet Sematary. The reason we've like continuously got like a Pet Sematary movie in 2019 and then one that went straight to Paramount Plus is because they're doing that to keep the rights. And I'm thinking this was one of them. Is like Children of the Corn. They just made it because they had to, or else they lose the rights. But you're right. Like, that's such a cool idea. Just evil little kids being evil, killing people. But they don't do nothing with it. The Go is live once again. Let's effing go. Yes, let's effing go. It sucks that Last Ronin is no longer happening, but let's be real. Did you actually think Nickelodeon, a family-friendly children's company, would have the balls to make an R-rated adult TMNT movie? I had hope. But I agree. It was like you. The minute they announced it, the minute they got on CinemaCon, and I got so hyped, the doubt immediately poured because I was like, Nickelodeon approved this? Did they? But yeah, the fears came true. DJ Frobo says, J. Jonah Jameson laugh. Oh, wait, you're serious? Please. Okay, I'll add that to the list. Zano says, yay, Chris, according to Tyrone McGinnis, the Snyderverse has been confirmed with all the cast returning and Christopher Nolan producing. Bruh, what happened to him? You want to know something that I found out? Unfortunately, if you're chronically online like I am, you unfortunately heard a leaked audio clip of one Tyrone McGinnis that was very very loud, very wet, very thrusty. It is not the kind of audio clip I have ever thought I'd heard from Mr. 1 million subscribers. I thought it was crazy. And I did get curious, not to hear it, but because it popped up naturally on my timeline. And I was like, no way this is real. Someone did it with AI. So I searched Tyrone McGinnis to get more information if it was real. And that's when I find out. Tyrone blocked me on Twitter. Yo, Ty, what I do? What'd he say fuck me for? What I do, Tyrone? Mr. McGinnis. So he don't like me. He don't enjoy me. And that's kind of sucks. You know, I say what I do, but I think I've said in a previous live or a different video that, like, I lost a lot of respect for him over the years. But it is sad because I used to watch him and I thought he was a normal, cool dude. Literally, that was his thing he'd say at the end, 1 million subscribers. I was like, yeah, 1 million, Tyrone, you're going to get there. I remember when he met Tom Holland, I was like, whoa, Tyrone met Tom. That's so cool. Oh my goodness. Tom Holland. Unless I made that up in my mind. But yeah, he did a whole video. He got to be like, I want to meet Tom. I haven't met Tom. And I was happy for him when that video came out. 2016, dang, that's the year I started my YouTube channel also. So I was watching him when I started YouTube. I'm not going to say he was one of my influences, but he was definitely somebody where it's like, oh, if I wanted to hear someone else's opinion or thought or have something on while I was cooking, I'd put on a Tyrone video in the back and make my macaroni and cheese, right? Now that Santa macaroni and cheese going to be sounding different with Tyrone in my mind. And so it was just funny to then go online. Let me as proof, because y'all gonna think I'm lying. And he blocked me. I've never interacted with him, never even publicly on Twitter said anything. And so when I went, I was like, oh, Mr. McGinnis said bye-bye. Trying to find his actual. There we go. So, and I'm not even following him either, but right there. Tyrone McGinnis has blocked you. So I just thought that was funny when all that was happening. All right. Oh, Sean's in the chat. Hey, Sean. Nice to see you, bud. Hope all is well. Good man, Sean. Let's see here. Matthew Court 2860 says, top man, Chris. Love your channel. Will you be trying the Stranger Things burger and wings at McDonald's? Also, doing your series review. That's one thing that's pissed me off. There's been a lot of Stranger Things collaborations food-wise, none of them in the US. Stranger Things food collab. All of them in other countries. Like, yes, there's the packaging and stuff you can buy like in stores, but like, is this from season 3? This is from season 3. But yeah, there's like a KFC meal. This one is not, I think this is the UK only, or Mexico. It's not here in the States, unless I'm wrong. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. But I did my checking because I would love to dress up as a character and go out and get the stuff. All these is like in other countries. So I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. A lot of them's been happening. Oh, it's real. There's a the Demogorgon. Sean's talking about the Demogorgon Crunch cereal. The Crunch cereal, yeah, like all this stuff you can buy at Walmart is out there. The Chips Ahoy actually look interesting with the red cookie center. But yeah, dude, we need more of that. I am waiting for the SpongeBob meal. I think that's in the States. There's gonna be a SpongeBob. Is it Burger King? I actually like Burger King. Don't sleep on the Burger King, dude. Yes, King. There's actually gonna be a Burger King one. I'll definitely try that. All right. It says here, Galaxy Waffles 1064. So upset about canceled TMNT movie. Was so hyped. Also, Chris, I got my first day of working on a construction site on Monday. Wish me luck, bro. Oh, dude, that's some hard work right there. I have family that does a lot of construction, and so I do not envy you. I've had family members that have had terrible injuries. I feel so bad for. So watch out there and wear something to protect your back. You might be young and good now, but your back's gonna thank you, buddy. Can't give back shots with a bad back. Simply That Guy says, Ray Fiennes, Ella Fanning, and Jesse Plemons as younger versions of Snow, Effie, and Poultry is such a perfect casting. I'm so pumped. Yeah, that cast is looking great. They did a good job with that. Wino 408 says, can you add the screaming goat sound to the board? Ugh, I don't think I'd ever use that one. That one's just annoying. Although I know I'm being annoying with some of these effects already. I don't know if I'd like the screaming goat. But I'll think about it. Snow L. Jackson says, what is the most bored you've ever felt while watching a movie and a TV show? Ooh, I'm trying to think about the most bored I've ever been. I guess it's honestly when I have to review like those fairy tale movies, those like horror fairy tale movies that are just awful. Like the Popeye ones, dude. The brain rot was setting in. I kept wanting to reach for my phone and scroll, but I'm like, I need to pay attention in case there's a funny thing I can make fun of in my video. So definitely those. TV show, I'm the kind of person that if you lose me, and I'm pretty finicky, if you lose me, I'll just stop watching. So I don't even get bored. I just stop. Unless it's like the final season and it's like, I've made it this far, might as well. But to prove me wrong, I haven't even finished You season 5, which is the final season. I'm like 3 episodes in. It was like getting slow, and I just never went back. But I need to go back and finish it. My lady hates that I do that because she gets invested. I mean, she finished all of Riverdale, so you could tell she powers through. She powers through all right, and so on me, I was like, it's not that interesting. I'm done. So yeah. Jet says the Doomsday AI leaks are really pissing me off. I hope we get some type of official marketing soon. Also, you played the Simpsons season. Yeah, I've been having fun with the Simpsons Fortnite season. I do think it's enjoyable, and I got to update my game and play that tonight because they got the Stranger Things collab going on right now, so that seems fun. But as far as the Doomsday leaks, as much as I was like freaking out or trying to figure out what's real, what's fake, as much as I hate AI. The good side is this AI stuff is making what probably is some real stuff look completely fake and is being dismissed. That this abundance of like fake leaks is even making the real ones just being dismissed and like, And in a fan perspective way, that's fun because now when I go into a movie or I see a trailer, I don't know what was real and what was fake in all these leaks, and I kind of like that. It's another way to keep the mystery alive and going. It's bad though for a YouTuber who wants to clickbait that something's real when the comments are just going to be Chris clearly AI. You fell for it. Yeah, see, like this person, Elio, you put it perfectly. Just scooted up and it went away. But Elio said it. Love that AI is diluting real fakes. There we go. Here it is. Elio 13 says, love that AI is diluting the real fakes. Yeah, I agree. Louis J. Art says, there's a rumor about Wes Ball not coming back for the next Planet of the Apes movie because he's busy work on the Legend of Zelda movies. I don't blame him, especially if he's doing a good job there, sure. And his Planet of the Apes, I thought was good. I thought it's a nice, good start. It's a promising start, but I was surprised some people weren't crazy about it. So maybe they just want their next Matt Reeves to take it. Not Matt Reeves himself, but then maybe another director. I hope they move forward with it, dude, because I do like what they were setting up. Jet says, what's your top 5 favorite TV shows this year? Mine would be Welcome to Derry, Dexter Resurrection, Peacemaker, The Studio, and Wednesday. Ooh, those are some good ones. The Studio is definitely up there. I'm not going to put them in any particular order, but yes, The Studio for sure, the Seth Rogen show. I think definitely if you're a film fan or just been keeping up with the news, this show just is so funny, so hilarious, the way they tackle stuff. The Kool-Aid episode, I just think that's so hilarious the way they've done that. I've enjoyed every episode so far. I can't wait for the next season. So yeah, Studio's up there. The Rehearsal is another big one. I am putting you on to this show. Watch it. Nathan Fillion's The Rehearsal is the funniest, is the hardest I've laughed in a long time. I would recommend season 1 because it gives you a general gist of the show. Although I think season 2 is way stronger, much more focused, and has such a much better satisfying conclusion and overall. Just 10 out of 10 every episode in season 2. While season 1, a lot of episodes really good, but you have some dips and you're like, it's a little unfocused, a little uneven. But season 1's good to get a gist of the show. Season 2 makes it so much worth it. So Rehearsal is definitely one of my top favorite shows this year. Definitely in there. I'm trying to think of what else. Let me see. Dexter Resurrection. You know what? I will give it to you. And yes, I'm going to do my little Dexter review on the Clips channel soon. Just haven't had time to sit down and collect my thoughts. But there was a point when watching like season 6 and 7 of the original Dexter where I'm like, is this even going to be worth it? Because that honestly, someone asked me earlier, season 6, 7, those later seasons of original Dexter, that's where I was getting really bored. I was just like disconnecting, feeling like they lost touch of the show. And I was questioning myself, like, is even the new show going to be worth sitting all through all this? It was. Dexter Resurrection was extremely good. Like, it made sitting through some of those lesser episodes good. 6, 7, dang it. Sorry, guys. I accidentally did say that. But anyways, so that's definitely up there. That's 3. What other shows have come out this year? 2025 show. I liked Peacemaker, but I don't know if it was like my favorite. And Last of Us really let me down, so it's not Last of Us. I'm trying to think of what other things. I still need to watch I don't know how to pronounce it, Palubris, but I really want to watch that. I'm still on the company chair. I'm enjoying that, but I'm trying to find a little bit more definitive things. See if I've given anything else a shot. Oh, Reacher season 3. Did that come out this year? Because that was pretty good. I liked Reacher season 3. I'll say that. Adolescence was really good. It made me kind of sad though at the end. Like I think I was crying at the end. I was like, dang man. Gotta be careful about the way you raise them kids. Oh, I did watch Task. I liked Task a lot. I binged that in one weekend. I thought that was really good, and they just renewed that for a season 2. I recommend it. Mark Ruffalo plays an FBI agent in a small town. He's been put on this path to stop a group of criminals that are robbing drug dealers. And honestly, every episode was hooking me. Every episode ended, I'm like, play the next one, play the next one. I really liked it. Curious what they do for season 2 because that felt like a one and done kind of thing. I liked Poker Face, but season 2 wasn't all that. There was like some good episodes in there, but I wasn't crazy about the whole show like I was on season 1. I think that's where I'll end it. I tried getting into the pit. I'm happy if you I couldn't get into the pit. I finna be in the pit. No, I couldn't get into the pit as much as other people. I watched like 2 episodes and I tapped out. Oh, Severance, duh. Yeah, there we go. We rounded it off with Severance. Alien Earth let me down by the end. Yeah. There we go. I have not finished Gen V season 2. I watched the first episode and it was one of those. I know I'm so bad. I watched the first episode and it didn't hook me in right away, so then I just haven't gone back to it. But I do want to go back and finish season 2. I'm probably just gonna save it until season 5 of The Boy comes out or is about to come out, and I'll watch that. All right. Both 20th Century Studio has already found its director for Planet of the Apes, but we don't know who it is. My guess is Dan. Ooh. I don't know. It feels like they have him busy with Predator and Alien, but Dan Trachtenberg with Planet of the Apes, give it to me. I'd watch that. The bid for Warner Brothers has officially been sent. You're right. Yesterday was the final day to send your submission. So in the next week or two, maybe a month, probably after Thanksgiving, we'll hear who won. We'll see who gets Warner Brothers. You're right. I forgot about that. How do you imagine Avengers Doomsday trailer? Probably very focused on Doctor Doom. And with the way the cast is looking, the X-Men and Spider-Man, I feel like they're going to focus on the old characters as opposed to the newer people. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if they focus on the 2000s X-Men, a shot of Toby, anybody else, because it's starting to look more and more like Doomsday is actually going to be a celebration of the old superhero movies. A little bit like what Deadpool 3 was in the Fox universe, but Doomsday will be all in general. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Someone said Homelander dies. Well, I feel like that's probably how season 5 of The Boys is going to end. Like, if the show doesn't end with Homelander dying, the show feels pointless. I mean, it's just like Breaking Bad. You know what's going to happen to Walter, who has cancer and is dying season after season. The show can really end one way for him. It's the way that actually eventually happens. Who kills him? Is it Butcher? Does Butcher die along Homelander? Is it going to be Huey? Who else dies alongside Homelander? Like, there's a lot. So I don't think, of course, Homelander's probably going to die. But it's about how they do it. If they don't, I will be shocked if they don't kill Homelander. What if everyone dies? That could happen. That could happen. I remember, I think I eventually saw like how the comic ends. And if they do the comic ending, I will be pissed. I will be pissed. That would be just such a stupid way to end the show. Soundboard, I need you to look at Tobey Maguire. Oh, we do need to add that one. Chris, I saw Wicked for Good, and I agree with you on the movie. I didn't like its pacing. Wizard of Oz was rushed, jumbled, but I liked slightly better than part 1. Wow. Because to me, part 1 is clearly better, but hey, glad we could agree on some stuff. Have you seen... Nick and Lynn's Love Horror said, have you seen Jimmy and Stiggs? Highly recommend it. It was fun, and I had it in theaters here. Joe Biggles makes wild movies you might be into. Okay, what was it called? Jimmy and Stacks? Or Stiggs? Jimmy and Stiggs. I stopped wearing my glasses because y'all were making fun of me, so now I'm blind. Oh, I heard about this. You know, I saw Sean Chandler's review. Not Sean Chandler. Cody Leach's review of it, and it sounded Cody and I kind of agree a lot on stuff, and the way he phrased it, it feels like a movie where I'd appreciate the filmmaking behind it, but I don't think I'd be that into the movie. Maybe I'm wrong. I should definitely form my own opinion and watch it. But the way he described it, I kind of figured what he meant. But yeah, I think it was like I heard he like spent very little money, made it all in his own apartment, and it's just a crazy blast of a film. Yeah, I gotta check it out. 3C lore on why you stopped doing Twitch streams. It became unfortunately repetitive, where I just didn't have much to talk about on the Twitch streams when doing the Friday weekly live streams. And I was getting a lot of constructive criticism, which I always want to take constructive criticism for you guys. I don't ever want to be the type that goes, I know better than you. And a lot of people were like, I appreciate the live streams, but I feel like you're doing less side flicks. So I'm trying to do a focus on more or just as many side flicks while still having some topics for the live stream. And so with Twitch, there just wasn't much I could figure out to do on there. And I don't do a lot of video game content. Like, yeah, I could just do Fortnite, but how many of you guys actually want to watch Fortnite? Like, that's why I post the Fortnite stuff on the Clips channel, because I know only a small amount of you actually like that content. But it's still fun for me to make because I like playing Fortnite. So it just became where, like, I just wouldn't know what to do on Twitch that you know, does that. Twitch stream for gaming. I mean, yeah, I mean, I could do it more for things like that. You can multi-stream this to Twitch, though. I guess I could do that, but I'm Unk, and I can't figure that stuff out. So someone send me a YouTube video to get that done. Because when I Twitch stream, I use OBS. But for the YouTube lives, I like using StreamYard because it lets me do all this stuff to bring up the chats and highlight y'all. And I even figured out how to do the soundboard and all that. So, yeah. All right. Says here, do you think Brand New Day is going to end up being half street level in multiverse? Would you be disappointed if Sadie ends up being the main villain? It depends on who the villain is and how that works into the story. I'm kind of disappointed it's not going to be a classic Spider-Man villain, but they've also kind of ran through them. You know, especially with No Way Home doing a lot of the classic ones, it'd be weird to then do the next movie. Okay, but this is Tom Holland's Green Goblin. Oh, but this is Tom Holland's Dr. Octopus. It's like, sure, I want to see those characters, but after you just did them in the last movie, probably not the way to go. And we've already done Vulture and Mysterio. It's like, what other classic ones are left? So maybe pulling an unknown and making them known with maybe what they're doing with Sadie Sink or whoever the villain actually ends up being, I'm fine. But I don't think it'll be half multiverse. If there's any multiverse elements, I think it'll be like 10% of the story, and it'll just be part of the setup for Doomsday or Spider-Man's story for Secret Wars. Just my thought, though. Harriet Osborn? That would be crazy. Peyton Ur says, welcome to their episode 4 review. The eye scene was scarring, and the Pennywise versus Indians was really cool. See, I have some thoughts on the way some of these scare scenes are done that I don't know if some of you guys are going to agree with. But I'll definitely talk about that on Sunday. Because, yeah, that was a crazy scene. Rank the DCU projects so far. Oh, dude. So what have we gotten? Well, just DCU, so not counting Penguin. So we've gotten Superman and Peacemaker Season 2. Is there something else I'm missing? Oh, and Creature Commandos? Probably in that order. Superman, Peacemaker Season 2, Creature Commandos. And all James Gunn projects. I know, well, Blue Beetle, I know he's DCU, but just like straight up full on DCU. Because even James Gunn said Blue Beetle can be canon, but they're not going to stay 100% locked in on that, and they'll mix some things around. But I like Blue Beetle a lot. You guys know I like Blue Beetle. What horror film would you turn into a musical? I think Nightmare on Elm Street could work as a musical, especially because of the dream aspect. It could just be Freddy haunting a theater chick. And it's like, you like to sing and dance? Well, how about this? I'm the man who touched kids. And now I'm here to kill you. 'Cause your daddy set me on fire. Freddy's not really a rhythm guy. But he'll tell you. Terrifier as a musical would also actually go hard. That Clown Cafe scene, that would definitely be one. That would definitely be one. I'm trying to think of how that song went. The Clown Cafe, stop on by the Clown Cafe. That's all I remember. I don't. It's because once I start singing it, then it'll just be stuck in my head for a week. The Dexter theme will never not give me chills. LOL. Love the sound bites, Chris. Thank you guys for liking the sound bites. I was afraid you guys were gonna be like, oh my god, he's turning this channel into a gimmicky nonsense thing. I'm just trying to have fun and give you different flavors. Random. But would you be excited for a sequel of Battle Angel Alita? Or just more Avatar, James Cameron. Battle Angel Alita, I would definitely want more of, just because that was an interesting world. We haven't peeked into it yet, but I'm very curious for where the Avatar movies end up, and I do hope we get to that eventual like movie where they go to Earth, because I'm so curious to what future Earth looks like. I know there was that deleted scene from the first Avatar, but I want to see how he would do it now, you know? Someone said Evil Dead for the musical horror. You're right, that one would also work. FMB Studios official says, my theory is that Lanterns was delayed to avoid franchise fatigue. Also, what are your thoughts on James Gunn setting up Rick Flag Sr. as a major antagonist in the DCU? I'm not a big fan of it. Nothing against Frank Grillo. I don't hate him like some people have grown to, but I just don't think the Rick Flag Sr. character is all that compelling or interesting to make him such a big character like that. Like, I honestly think he should have just stayed as an antagonist for Peacemaker in the show. And I feel like there wasn't even really a satisfying, well, I guess kind of with him throwing him into Salvation, but making him so much larger in the movies, I don't know, doesn't feel all that interesting to me. But if James Gunn makes it work and I actually like it more, I'll admit it. But as of right now, not that big on it. Mr. Death 2740 says, thank you so much for unbanning this account. As a thank you, I will drop you some Mr. Death lore. I used to work in Domino's, and one time they hired an old guy. He hated me, and he was on the ran for trying to kill a lady by a car. Did he make good pizzas, though? How was his pizza skills? That's what I'm curious about. Thoughts on the top 10 scariest horror movies according to science? I know like Sinister is on them. Let's see here. Top 10 scariest movies science. If the list ain't by Neil deGrasse Tyson, I don't want to look at it. All right, let's see what the list is. All right. Okay. Sinister is up there. I just feel like it's the ones that have the best use of jump scares. And I don't know if that's an accurate measuring system, because that's the way I see this. Because that's the way your heart rate would be going up, right? Is through the suspense and everything being built up. So these are just the movies with really well choreographed jump scares. Which, yeah, dude, Insidious had one that still gives me chills to this day. I'll never forget being in the theater. Just for one, that Insidious sound, that whatever that sound is. But when that sound paired up with just the scene of the red-faced guy behind Patrick Wilson, dude, my heart sunk in my chest. And I was like, and I've never felt that way in any other PG-13 horror movie. So Insidious definitely won that. I don't get it for Skinamarink, probably because I watched it at home, but maybe if I watched it in the theater, I'd have more of that panicky feel. But yeah, these seem good. These seem good. Darth Maul is not scary. That was never scary. Well, I disagree, Jackson, okay? All right, you over here? That's not scary. I have an uncle who looked like that, and he's scary.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Got to use it. The Grudge did freak me out as a kid. It did. But then Scary Movie 3 ruined all that, and all I could laugh now. All right, so there won't be a Wicked 3, and I was going to ask this about your last live stream about Funko Pops, but what about your NECA figures? I still have them, but I'm not collecting as hard as I used to. If anything, I'm just kind of going to stick to what I got unless they got a really good figure. But the last one I bought was like the Art the Clown one, just because I had to have him. Also, I think I just saw John M. Chu or somebody was being asked about Wicked 3, and they were like, possibility. And with the way I was so unsatisfied with the ending of Wicked for Good, I'd be down to see Wicked for more good, just to see what they would do. Wicked 3, it says here. Spoiler alert, explains emotional new fear moment and chances of Wicked 3. Or did they say if it was? Maybe I'm being crazy. I know Discussing Films had it. Maybe I read it wrong and they were like, oh, actually never going to be a Wicked 3. You're a loser and your mom hates you. See, Steven says that he and Winnie Holzman are developing a new Wicked project. It wouldn't be a sequel to Glinda and Elphaba's story, but instead a new idea that expands on Oz in a new direction. Okay. I mean, I'd be down. I was like, since I was on like that Wicked binge, since I was so upset with the way Wicked for Good went, I like found out there's 14 Wizard of Oz books. There's 14 of them. And each one is a random story of a kid getting swept up and sent to Oz and having to fight. And I'm like, it's 14 and we've only ever adapted the first movie? Seems like potential there for more. Says here, the crispy Kamoni. In the past few months, I have recently did a 3-timer with Demon Slayer 3 times and Roofman, then Tron 3, then another week with Now You See Me 3, which I went to see twice, then Begonia. I still got to watch Begonia. I want to see that Emma Stone bald-headed girl. Love you, Emma. Was there a question in that? Cool. Gag Gaming GG said, I had a great second day at AMC. Saw Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Oh, nice. I saw Campia hated Now You See Me, and I was like, oh, that's the only one I actually liked. I'm surprised he hated it. I gotta watch his review of it, though. I just saw his title. I have a special place in my heart for those characters and those Now You See Me movies, especially that I feel like I grew up alongside them. God bless. God bless indeed. God bless indeed. Advice for someone going through breakup. Thanks. Get to the hospital quick because they got to stitch you back up, man. It's not good to have your body separated.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Good joke. Good joke. So it's honestly, I don't. It's the same advice I give every time. It's gonna hurt less tomorrow, and then it hurt less the day after that, hurt less after that, and eventually there'll be a day where you look back and you'll laugh that it ever hurt you at all. So it's the most cliche thing, but it's time heals all wounds. The best thing I do is jump into a hobby of yours, whether it's a video game, a show you've been wanting to watch, or hang out with friends. Honestly, I think also that helps faster. Is just going out there, not into like find someone else to rebound, but just going to your friend out in the real world, doing something to distract you. But in the end, it's just going to be time. To me, that's just always the remedy. Chris, did you ever break up with someone? I've mostly been the breaking up with. The ladies be leaving this. I think only one time I did a breakup, and it was probably like one of my bigger ones. But usually it's them leaving me. How likely do you think Nolan Odyssey will outgross Oppenheimer? I don't know. I wish I could peep into alternate universes and see how much Oppenheimer would make if the Barbenheimer phenomenon wasn't a thing. Because I want to attribute a good chunk of the success Oppenheimer had to that, but I don't want to say that was the only reason it was successful. It's still Christopher Nolan, still a really good movie. It's also a historical movie, and sometimes historical events, people just want to see them. Titanic, people want to see how that bomb was dropped and created Godzilla, metaphorically. So I do wonder, in the Odyssey, like, that's just another one I feel like it has the potential to be big. So I would say about the same as Oppenheimer. I don't know if it'll go that much higher. Maybe Oppenheimer is the ceiling. But we'll see. Day one of asking Chris to make a short film. Back to the lore. A guy tries to kill a girl by running her over and backing up. He moves city to miss the court day. But the pizza, though. How was his pepperoni game? Because I'd forgive him. Bro is actually Mr. Death. So yeah, here, Toby says, will be the Loki of Infinity War. Who else? Oh, dude, no. That will piss me off. I get what you mean by that. Or is that, did Loki die? He died in the beginning of Infinity War, not Endgame. You can't kill Toby in the beginning. If you do that, that will sour my whole enjoyment of Doomsday, because I'll just be sitting there going, now I can't look at Tobey Maguire's dick. You can't start a movie that way. If you're gonna kill Toby, well, then you're doing that at the end of the movie, man. You're doing that at the end of the movie. And I do think a lot of characters are probably gonna die. It could be the thing where most of the people who show up in Doomsday are just not even gonna be in Secret Wars, because, you know. Could some of these leaks be real but upscaled with AI? Maybe that could be it too. That could be it too. I'm still of the theory that these photos are based on real photos and someone is filtering them through AI and making more. Probably the real people. That fella is Kevin Feige. Ah! I like that one. I gotta have like a clap one. That was a good one. I like that one. Toy Chica cosplay for FNAF 2 movie review. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Honestly, I so desperately want a spring, the spring bunny. I guess it is spring bunny, but I so desperately want a yellow rabbit costume for the set, if I'm being honest with you. And I did look on Etsy, and it's like selling for like $1,000 or $700 or something like that. Which, yeah, I know I have the money and I could just spend it, but it's just like, I see all the FNAF fans who actually make their suits from scratch. And while I want to say I don't think it looks that hard, it does look hard. But I would really love a Yellow Rabbit suit. I would like have it peeping through the curtain. I would act like that's the stage and Yellow Rabbit's like peeping through. What if in the FNAF 2 movie they say, was that the bite of 6-7? Twas cool meeting you at the John Campia meetup. Oh man, it was cool meeting you too, bud. I hope you like your photo. The Tony Soprano. Hey 3C, you do a great job covering recent movie news. I may be wasting your management consultant, but I think you have the making of a vast filmmaker. Gabagoo. Hey, I think I nailed that. I think I nailed that just off the Tony Soprano clips I've seen on TikTok. What do he say to you, honey? No, what do he say to you? Tell me. All right. You heard that Sabrina Carpenter auditioned to be Rapunzel for the live-action movie, but was rejected because she was too pretty. Is Rapunzel supposed to be ugly? Because let me tell you, all that hair, upstairs or down, wouldn't care. I need to add that one. Get out! I do need to add that one. They use the AI old filter on a real photo, maybe. Possibly. Possibly. How big of a Scooby-Doo fan are you, 3C? I love you. Oh, I would say pretty big. I think there's definitely levels to, you know, certain fandoms and things like that, and I try to be upfront whenever I do. I am an enjoyer of a fan, or I'm an enjoyer of a fandom, but maybe I'm not that knowledgeable in, or things like FNAF is what I'm always honest on. It's like, I like FNAF and the idea and the concepts, but man, I'm lacking so much in the lore and the history that's been going on because I'm just so surface level. Scooby-Doo, though, I grew up a lot on Scooby-Doo. I watched a ton of the animated movies. I would watch a pup named Scooby-Doo. I even have memories of watching the classic cartoon, like back when it was like very staticky. I've seen episodes of What's New Scooby-Doo, which I think was the Cartoon Network one that was more current with the Simple Plan song. What's New Scooby-Doo? We're coming after you. I like that song a lot. So I'd say pretty big fan. I'm so excited for the Netflix show. I can't wait to see how they handle that. Again, my pitch is do Scream, but PG-13. PG-13 Scream is basically what Scooby-Doo should be with people in masks. Don't be doing the thing where you think every movie or live-action version of Scooby-Doo has to have them fighting a real monster, a real supernatural threat. I get it worked in that one zombie movie, Return to Zombie Island and whatnot, But I'm like, dude, if you do a whole show based on the opening of the Scooby-Doo movie, the one that James Gunn wrote with that ghost monster, I love that idea. Just have an actual guy who's like pretending he's got powers and things like that, and maybe they are like, I think he's maybe real. No, I prefer that. First ever super chat from work. I'm the boss today. Wish me luck the last few hours. So beat me up. So beat up from work yesterday. I'm like Toby with my back. Oh, I got you with that one.
My back!
Good stuff. I still have all those Toby sound bites from the Spider-Man stream. Good luck with your shift though, bud. Have you seen that funny interview with Sydney Sweeney where they wanted her to apologize for her Gene ad? She looks so done with woke Hollywood. Yeah, I think there's just some people who just they don't want to acknowledge sometimes they do wrong or something. Which maybe I get it. Well, it's not even that I do wrong, but it's just like you're canceling me over a Gene ad. I don't know. All I know is I hope that Housemaid movie does good because that Christie movie, which I actually saw. I saw the Christie movie, the boxing movie, which I don't think was a bad movie. I was actually blown away by the story. I had no idea this actually happened and the things that happened to that boxer, which I do recommend the movie to you guys. Although I will say I feel like the story was handled in such a uninspired way where it feels like they could have done more with the story, especially fleshing out Christie's character more and some of the things involved with her that I was like, I really wish they touched upon that more in the movie. But when it came to like finding out what her husband did and all that, I was like, I did not know it got that bad. It's crazy that that movie tanked. I don't think it's because of Sydney Sweeney backlash or because she's canceled or anything like that. I just think the studio did not market it. Nobody but people who follow discussing films or any Twitter accounts knew that movie was coming out, which is not a lot of people. The internet, you know, in that little film bubble might be huge if you're on it constantly like I am, but that's not enough to market your movie. I saw no ads on TV, no billboards, no trailers in front of a YouTube video. Like that movie was just not marketed at all. Let's see here. John Carpenter's Toby line in the soundboard, please. I might have to. Hopefully, whatchamacallit, John Campion doesn't get mad if I do that. I gotta ask him one day. Do you get upset if I keep bringing up your Toby Dick line? Hello, Campion. Hello. Kanto Peaches says, "What's your fave and least fave Thanksgiving food?" Oh, I like this question. I'm happy you asked me this because I have a real pet peeve about Thanksgiving food. Okay, I love classic Thanksgiving food. Okay, I like a good turkey. I've learned over the years I prefer the turkey fried. You guys sometimes might have seen that video where they like fry the turkey, fried turkey gone wrong or whatever. Please don't bring up any bad horrendous. But you guys might seen those videos, right, where they dump a turkey and like if they didn't properly defrost it because of the water, it like sparks and flames up. It's obviously very dangerous and whatnot, but I see now why people risk their lives for this kind of turkey, because let me tell you, damn, that turkey good. That turkey like that is delicious. Fried turkey is the tastiest turkey, right? So that I do like the canned cranberry. Sue me. I don't even care if it looks still molded from the can when it comes out. I like to mix that with my turkey and have it. I like to mashed potatoes with the brown gravy. Yes, brown gravy might be in the South, but the brown gravy is still the go-to on Thanksgiving. Macaroni. You gotta have good rolls. You could do the Hawaiian rolls, but I think my family, they do this. They get these rolls from like Kroger and bake them, and they really tasty. Okay. So that's like in a sweet potato casserole, pumpkin pie. If you want to throw in ham, sure, but I feel like that's more of a Christmas thing, but whatever, right? Those are like and stuffing, yes, stuffing with cranberries and stuff. Some people said cranberries low-key gross. I like the cranberry, but that's just me. With stuffing and all that. Okay, those are my foods right there. I don't know what's up sometimes with my family, and it's the reason maybe I don't go with them as much, because my lady side of the family is the one I look forward to the most because they always do classic Thanksgiving. Those food groups I mentioned, every year without a doubt will never change the menu, and I know because I've asked them. I've told them, like, I love coming here because y'all do classic Thanksgiving, and they said that's the only way to do Thanksgiving. I was like, Reason I bring this up because my mom, my dad, I guess it's because we grew up Mexican, and so Mexicans are like they're not holden to Thanksgiving and the traditions. After like 3 years of doing classic traditional Thanksgiving, they want to mix it up. So your boy has been through all sorts of Thanksgiving. I've gone through fish themed Thanksgiving. No. We do like Mexican food with like tamales, which tamales isn't bad, but again, I think more of like Christmas, and I'm not even a big tamale guy, I know. But it's just gotten to the point now where like my family, I guess, did so much traditional Thanksgiving, but I'm like, how do you get sick of it if it's one day a year? I get it if it's like once every month or once every week, but it's like one day a year. Let's just do the classic. Why do we have to mix it up? Is anybody else's family turkey mole? Although I do like turkey mole. I do like turkey mole. But I wouldn't want that every year. Have that as a side. Is anybody else's family like that? Where they're like, "Oh, we do the classic Thanksgiving. Let's mix it up. Let's I saw this like pasta recipe. Don't you ever say that again, Mom. You say that again and I'm putting you in the same home grandma's in. And it's not the good kind, okay? They steal her pudding, and I'm aware. Because they deliver it to my house, Mom. If you don't want to end up where Grandma is, you'll get in that kitchen, and you'll make classic Thanksgiving. I don't play with my Thanksgiving. All right? We're done. Spanish rice and beans for Thanksgiving is mad good. It is good. Okay, like I don't trust me. You're talking to the guy who loves I'm trying to find the exact who loves Spanish rice, the orange rice, and beans. But you know why I also like it? Every weekend when I have a family party, a quinceañera, a birthday, an anniversary, or just a random family get together, I eat Spanish rice and beans almost every weekend. It's not special on Thanksgiving. It's good, but it's not special on Thanksgiving. So don't bring it to me, Mom. I'll smack your other cheek. Can't you see this hurts me more than it hurts you? Oh. Good question. Let's see here. John Campia, Toby line in the soundboard, please. Yep, I definitely have to do it. Even AI is over designing the Marvel suits. Yeah, they followed the prompt correctly. They followed the prompt correctly. They need to stop eating tortillas too. Yeah, but that's my fault too. I love rolling up a good tortilla. Next time I'm at the family dinner, I'll show y'all guys. I'll put it as a YouTube short. I'll just put it on the Reddit. Guys, someone not watching the lives will be like, "Why did Chris just post rice and beans? Is it a cooking channel now?" Okay. Chris, what soundboard do you use? It's Peak. Well, it's technically my Steam Deck. Here we go. It's my Steam Deck. So I've had this before. And with Steam Deck, it's very easy to just like create sounds and do them on there. The problem though is because it's not an audio interference, I had to download a separate software called Loopback. That's on Mac. That's what I use. Loopback. And so what it does is it takes the sound and my mic and turns it into one sound so that anytime I play a sound from the board, it loops it into whatever audio I'm doing. So it's not that complicated. I watched the YouTube video and I made it work, but it's a Steam Deck. But I mean, yeah. A Stream Deck. I keep saying Steam Deck. That's the little controller thingy, right? My bad. Not a Steam Deck. Stream Deck. It's one letter away. Give me a break, buddy, okay?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Chris, are you going to make content on Stranger Things 5? Love your videos, by the way. Have you... And that sweet chin, boy, damn, no, I need to work on this chin because that double chin coming back. It's because I've been getting back into soda, guys. I need to stop. I was like, see, look, I've been in like sugar-free sodas for a while, but with the holidays and all that, I peeked back into regular soda, and it's starting to affect me. So I need to go back on my diets. But 6-7. Has 3C played Dispatch yet? No. I needs to though, because I saw some scenes I want to see play out. Know what I'm saying? Episode 4 beginning. Should a horror VHS game like Amanda the Adventurer get an adaptation? Never heard of Amanda the Adventurer. I'll tell you, I've heard of Amanda on the Street. And let me tell you, she made an adventure out of me. And I taped it on a VHS.
Say that again?
Those are all the words that were in the super chat. That's why I threw the say that again. Okay. Oh, someone said that's a child. That's how you know I've never played the game. But also I said I didn't know that game, that I met an Amanda on the street. So my thing still works. I've never, I just made that up. Okay. Someone just said 3C lore. That's not a real story, guys. I don't know if I have to emphasize that. But no, I've never actually heard of Amanda the Adventurer. Is that like another Slender Man type of game where you're like walking around the woods and have to collect little pieces of paper? Any news on Smile 3? None yet. It's definitely going to happen. I think Smile 2 made some good money. Paramount's behind it, and they're still wanting to keep their horror game strong. And I like Smile 2 a lot. So yeah, I want to see what Smile 3 has to offer. I made a 3C movie poster for you in the Reddit, but you missed it when you refresh. By the way, love your channel. Keep up the good work, Unk. Oh, thank you. Let me see what this is. Okay, hang on. A lot of good stuff in there. Jeez. Let me see. Is this the poster? Can't be a good stuff. Well, can't be a Is this the poster? Because Detective Chris, I don't even know what that means. I don't see any poster, buddy. Is it the Alvin? Oh, is it this? Oh. It's fabulous. It's glorious. Okay, good. Would you be interested in a Dead Space movie? Unfortunately, I haven't played the game. Don't know too much, but if it's got a cool story, then Dead Space me up. All the leaks could be new Google AI. Oh, is that like the fancy one they're using? I'm wondering what software it is then, or everybody. I don't dabble in AI, mess with it, so I didn't know like what's. I was like, is it just ChatGPT or is it some specific AI? Are they like, is it the AI you have to pay for? I would assume with how convincing it looks. Stranger Things 5 next week. I'm so excited. You and me both, buddy. I can't stand John Campea. I would rather Chris Bennett look after my family than meet him. I understand, man. I totally get some people don't love Campea. But I just don't want to lie and say like he didn't, like I didn't watch him for years and I wasn't influenced by it. And it was inspiring just to see how many people get behind them. But I get why some people haven't. Like, okay, I'll admit something else. Don't hold this against me. Do not, I repeat, do not hold this against me. I used to be an H3 fan. I know. Some of you probably don't know, like, who is H3? But if you know who H3 is, that was something I would, like, the podcast, I would watch it pretty often, especially since it was 3 hours of just, like, content that I could just put on the side and do housework, do something else, edit videos, have it on. And, dude, I had to stop watching it because he just went off the deep end. I remember they would always talk about fallen fans or people that like went away, and I was like, I wonder why. They seem so normal, and then I was like, oh, I see why. And it sucks because I still have not found my replacement for something that's like 3 hours long. So that's honestly probably why I peeked back in. But it just got like, it wasn't even fun anymore. I just liked it when they would just goof around and talk about random news in a funny way. And then it just got way too political, way too message heavy. And I just started seeing them like as I like the sheen wear off. And I was like, were y'all always like this? Yeah. But no, I'm not a fan and don't watch any of it now. I'm trying to think of like who do I watch from time to time. So I'll put on the escape pod to them guys just because they're kind of like me, where they just get off on random tangents and talk about the most random, immature things. They're kind of fun to listen to. Who do you guys listen to aside from me? Like, what is your like hour-long or 2-hour-long thing? Because maybe I need to get into that. Sometimes I'll check out a comedian podcast if it's funny. But then again, like they start getting too much into their politics, where it's like it's hard to like just see them as the funny guy, like Theo Vaughn. Whereas like he's done enough there where I was just like, I don't know if I like everything you do, Mr. Theo. But then he'll like talk to somebody I'm interested in. It's like, oh, I want to hear what Miles Taylor has to say. Someone said, Mark, does Markiplier have like an hour, 2 hour long thing? Drew Gone? Oh, yeah. That'd be a probably good one. Queso, the Dead Meat podcast. Yeah, that's probably a good one. Bad Friends. Sometimes they make me laugh. Yeah. Dead Pit, Moist Critical. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. 2C Films. Someone said 2C. Who's out there being 2C Films? All right. Let's see. Let's go next. Hey Chris, been a fan. Oh, there we go. Hey Chris, been a fan since 2021. With next year being big for movies, what movie or maybe movies could come close to hitting $1 billion? I still think Doomsday will make $1 billion. I think Doomsday will make $1 billion. I think Spider-Man, depending on that first trailer, could, but I think every Tom Holland Spider-Man movie has hit $1 billion, and with the last one hitting almost $2 billion, or did hit $2 billion, it's given. Toy Story will be $1 billion. It's Toy Story. It's the only ones I could think of. I don't know if that Moana one will be $1 billion. I think it'll make some money, but I don't know. Because I think audiences are starting to wear off on like the charm of live action movies, but maybe Moana will be a big hit. Worst movie of all time in your opinion? Jeepers Creepers Reborn or the first Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey? Any news on Batman Part 2? I think they said they're starting casting, so hopefully in like by Christmas, and that would make sense too if the movie's set around the winter time or January, I guess. Also, Matt Reeves will start posting pictures of who's playing who. I missed that in the Batman era update days. As someone who watches the play too, there is definitely going to be more than one scene recreated for the show, including one with Joyce. If you know, you know. I agree. Glad you agree. Yeah, there's things they reveal in the play that I'm like, well, if this is canon to the show, you got to bring that up to the audience. You got to bring that up to the audience in season 5. Chris, I know you're a big fan of Back to the Future. You hear Marty McFly and the Lord. Oh, I am ready, boy. I was rocking the 89 Batmobile, Tim Burton's Batmobile in Fortnite for the longest, and I'm like, I'm never changing this. You put the DeLorean in there, I'm never changing out of the DeLorean. And I would also Marty as well. I cannot wait. Last week on the topic of Disney AI movies, I believe that human made movies are going to become more of a luxury and will boost movie theater sales. That could be true. I'm trying to think of how this will work. It could be a luxury, but then as luxuries, wouldn't it be less? Because that's hard to say, right? Because you're like, well, when it becomes a luxury, well, then that means you're excluding a big chunk of people, and then it's only for an each group. But then I think about brands like, I don't know, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, or all these people, and I'm like, doesn't seem like they're losing any money, though. But they do have less people buying it because only a certain amount of people could afford it. So I get what you mean. I don't know if it'll translate as well in movie form. Hey, Chris, have you heard about Stranger Things 2? I have the animated thing they're working on. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm curious to check it out, though. Did Netflix buy Warner Brothers Discovery? Not that I saw. Did they announce it? Like I said, yesterday was the day to throw in the final bid, but I don't think they have confirmed it. It's probably not going to be till after Thanksgiving, guys. Have you ever thought or tried to work on film sets as an actor crew member? If not, how come? I have, but now that I'm like, this is my job, and anytime I leave my desk, some earth-shattering news. Like, I was in New York, and they announced the last Ronin movie is canceled. If I was at my desk, you would have gotten a video and a whole separate solo thing that night. So it feels hard because to then work on a movie set, like as a crew member, things like that, yes, it would be cool knowledge and just nice experience, but it's also like, dang, I got work to do here. And those are 14, 12-hour days on set, 7 days a week or whatever. Be kind of hard to. Do you think that you will make a video of the Target run of Stranger Things 5s, like the Chip Gushers? No, I don't think I will. But if you want to see something like that, I recommend my friend Wallow. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but Andrew Wallow, I think is his name. Stranger. He did a video like that. He's from the Escape Pod. Did I pronounce it wrong? Wafolo? Sorry about that. But he did a video like that, like it's something in the vein of what I've done before. I bought... Oh, his video's doing good. Awesome. I saw the video wasn't doing as good at first, but it's picking up steam. That's awesome. I bought every single Stranger Things item at Target. So, yeah, he's a cool dude. I like him. So you should, if you want something like that, check out his video. I'm low-key really hyped for Sunrise on the Reaping. I'm going into the movie completely blind like I did for Songbirds and Snakes. I can't wait to see what happens and how Haymitch wins again. Same, I just hope it's like an actual win. I would hate it if it's kind of like he didn't earn the win. I want him to earn the win. You know what I mean? I did read the first Hunger Game book. You know, y'all say I don't read. In high school, I read the first Hunger Game book. And I loved it. I thought it was really good. And the way they describe Haymitch and his trauma from his games and how he, like, the results of those games made him even, like, just completely isolate himself. Where, again, it's kind of like with the last movie, the last prequel, where it's like, when you're done with the Hunger Games and you win, that's not over. You still have to play a whole other mind game the rest of your life and make sure you're following the orders of these people because they're constantly watching you, constantly surveilling you. And if you mess up, they will hurt the people you love. And so, like, I hope some of that is brought in. See, like, I read the first book. I didn't read Catching Fire. I know someone's saying that because by the time I read the first book in preparation for, like, I think the first movie, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And so then I was just like, I'll just wait for the movies to tell me the rest. Oscar Isaac left Disney. Yeah, I think yeah, very political heavy times and crazy. I don't blame him. Respect him. He has that choice. You did the Popeye movies, but what about the Mickey Mouse horror movies? Was waiting for those. Also, what Christmas movie are you looking forward to this year? Yeah, I just ran out of time. Those were more time consuming than I thought, and it took a lot of work. I just did not have enough time to binge the ones I wanted to, so have to see about when I can get to those. Have you watched Chad Powers on Disney Plus? Love you. No, I thought it was a movie. If it was a movie, I would have hit play on that the day it came out because I kind of like that idea of like a guy who's pretending he's a different guy just to be in the football team they kicked him out of and all this stuff. Mrs. Doubtfire, but with football. I would have watched that if it's a movie. I'm not really interested as a show. Again, that's like a concept I'll watch for an hour and a half, probably have some laughs. An hour or 30 minutes every day for 8 episodes. I'm like, that's just me though. Hey, Chris, loved Wicked for Good. I feel like you misinterpreted many aspects of it. It was not supposed to be connected to the 1939 original. Okay, I've seen people bring this up, and that's where I think, again, the movie clearly wants you, though, to think it's connected to that. Because they purposely cut away and let you fill in those moments with what happened in the movie. That's why they couldn't really do the Dorothy stuff because, one, Universal doesn't even own the rights to that original Wizard of Oz movie. That's an MGM movie, which I think is with Amazon now. So they actually had to be super careful in what they show, and that's why there was so many cutaways for legal reasons, because once they did too much of what was part of the Wizard of Oz movies and not the novels, well, then you get in some legal trouble. That's why the slippers had to be the silver shoes from the original book and not the movie. But you can clearly tell when watching it, they want you to take your knowledge of the movie to fill in the gaps that they're not bringing up. And that was a major mistake. I'm glad if you liked it, Benny. And I've seen you in the comment sections defending the movie a lot. And I'm proud of you, buddy, because I'd be there. If it was a Spider-Man movie, a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, I'd be there also defending like crazy because it's my fandom. But they did not do it right. It's an adaptation. You're supposed to adapt. And if you can't use the original movie, then create your own lore. That's what you should have done. I don't get how everybody goes, yeah. The second act in the Broadway play is also not that good. We knew this was going to happen. I'm like, if that's a common complaint amongst the fans, that the second act of Wicked for Good is not good, or not as good as the first, and there's a lot of issues, and people have talked about them for years since the Broadway show has been out. Why then, when you adapt it to the movie, you don't go, okay, all these issues people have had and talked about for years, let's address them and let's fix them in the movie. Now let's just do exactly what the Broadway show did. The one that all the fans have problems with and issues with? Yeah, let's just do it exactly like that. You're brilliant. You're brilliant. Oh no, not a small number of people, buddy. You could go to my comment section and a lot. And when I was doing my research on my own, trying to figure out, trying to connect, make some stuff make sense, a lot of people saying the second act isn't as good. So, like, it's like a common knowledgeable thing. Look, Ben, again, I respect you, buddy, and I don't want to fight you on this, but just saying. Yeah, you're right. People would complain it's not accurate. So you're also right on that, Shadow Bat. It's a damn if you do, damn if you don't moment. So there was never going to be a win, but at least you could attempt to improve on something, you know? But the safe choice was just copying exactly, which then just makes it a Disney live action remake. Your movie is as good as a Disney live action remake. Got my tickets for FNAF 2. I can't wait. I hope in improvement over the first. Yeah, I've seen a group of people have already gotten to see it. They're hyping it up, so we shall see. We shall see. But hey, holding my expectations. You think all X-Men die in Doomsday? I think a good chunk of them, but all of them is a real possibility. You got details wrong in the spoiler review. Sorry. What details? You let me know. What details I got wrong, and I'll address them for you, buddy. If you want to go one-on-one on Wicked for Good, I'll bust out. I'll spread open that green girl. I'm subscribed to Tyrone. When I saw the Sonic Movie 3 review, and he said he left the film, asked me, this does not count as a review if you walk out. Why did he walk out of Sonic 3? That one's peak. That one's so good. I didn't know. I don't really watch his videos anymore. But I think like the last thing I actually was curious about was like when the Snyder cut came out, because I know he was big on that. So I want to know his thoughts on it. But I don't watch him at all anymore. Thoughts on FNAF 2 ticket sales being a lot higher than Avatar Fire and Ash, and having a low ticket sale. Do you think FNAF 2 could be a Conjuring 4 type movie, or does higher? I don't. That's what I'm curious also with the FNAF 2 box office. I don't know how high it will compare to the first movie, because the first movie was kind of like a phenomenon. We had been waiting like 7-8 years. I said 7-8, not 6-7. Oh dang it. So it was kind of like this moment we were building up to that finally arrived, and it's like, okay, but now that we've gotten that moment, it's passed by. How many people will show up, right? So with that, also doesn't surprise me on Fire and Ash, because Avatar has famously not been huge opening weekend. It's the legs, it's the coming back, it's the word of mouth, it's people going throughout the holidays. So that could be it. About scary, let's see here. It says about scary horror movies. Have you seen Dead Silence from 2007? If you think puppets are scary, it's scary good. I saw it when it came out as a Blockbuster rental, so it must have been later, 2007. I remember enjoying some of it, but I guess since I saw it as a kid, I was so confused. So 2007, I was also 7 years old. No, I was 12. I should not have been confused then if I was 12. I need to rewatch that one though. I want to give it a second chance. Next live stream, I can drop more lore online. Girlfriend in middle school. I wish we got more movies like The Grinch. So many rerun, not new movies. Yeah, it'd be nice to get some newer class, but they still be dropping some now and then. But you don't need to be dropping the lore, buddy. You keep dropping lore and stealing my thunder, I'm blocking you again, buddy. So watch yourself, Mr. Death, or you will become what your username is. Did you see that a bunch of FNAF YouTubers got to watch FNAF 2 early, and Scott Cawthon? I'm jealous too. Because Scott, why are you commenting on my videos if you're not gonna invite me, Scott? What did I do? I just want to be part of the cool kids, Scott. No, but all the people who went are deserving too, because they make some of the best FNAF content online. So all happy for them. Real awesome they got to do that. What I would have liked to have gone though. But I'll wait, Scott. I'll wait. Part 3, you'll invite me, right, Scott? At least a set visit this time. How would you feel about a Die Hard movie? A new one? I don't know, because it really was Bruce Willis who made those, and they really did lose the essence of what made those movies, I think, special in the beginning. Just a regular dude who was trying his best to stop and then actually managing it. It felt like the everyday guy winning, and then as the movies went on, he was just supernatural. He was like unstoppable. He was John Wick to what John Wick is now. But John Wick was established like that from the beginning, so it made sense for his universe. But Die Hard, it was just like a guy who would use tape to hide a gun, you know, something just low key, everyday, quick on your feet type thinking, walking on glass. I don't think you could replicate that. If anything, I would just say make your own new Die Hard, right? Make your own new action hero inspired by Die Hard. Hey, Chris, it was nice meeting you at the John Campy meetup, but it was weird when you took your clothes off and started twerking. Why did you do that? Campia said, this is 3C, throw it down. And I just reacted. It was like, you know that scene in Civil War when the Winter Soldier, Homecoming, House, October, 42. It just... Just saw Rental Family, loved it. Have you seen it and will you get a review for it? Rental Family, is that the Brendan Fraser one? I want to see it. I can't promise you a review on it, but I do want to see that one because I want to support my man Brendan Fraser. What would be the 3C fast food tie-in? Ooh, okay. It'd have to be a burger. I'd do a burger, okay, and it'd be all Red 40. It'd be Red 40 theme. Red 40. Big Red 40 fan. So Red 40 bun. Dip the burger meat in Red 40. Have the fries be Red 40 fries. And if there's a way to put cancer in a pill, give that to the first 100 people in line. Okay. Have you watched that? Oh yeah, we talked about that already. Red 40 cheese. No, that's going too far. My poop gonna be looking like Spider-Man. I noticed some recent movies have added and no AI was used in their closing credits. AI is definitely becoming too much. Yeah, and I hope that becomes more of a thing too, where people want to see that no AI was used in the credits, and more people are in favor of no AI in movies. Because if not, man, it's gonna be bad. Did you see John Campia gave you a shout out? Y'all are two favorite YouTubers. I thought that was cool. Keep up. Yeah, we talked about it a little earlier in the stream, but it was really nice of Campia to do that. Would you rather collab with Logan or Jake Paul? Dude, again, no hate to them. In a weird way, I think it's awesome that they've held a strong, growing career with all the controversies and things they've done. They're not necessarily the people I would like to hang out with, but if I had to choose, I think as of right now, I'd probably go Logan just because he seems more chill and it would just probably be on his podcast. Jake, I don't know, seems a little too high energy and off to me a little, but honestly, neither, you know. But if again, like I said, you can't deny how far they've come, and to be on like WrestleMania or what, I think they do wrestling, right? They have that Prime drink. They clearly still have a bunch of fans that watch them and enjoy them. That's kind of cool to know, you know. You can do stuff and people still watch and forgive, which I guess is the way it should be, as long as you're not killing or super hurting anybody. But yeah. Not really either. Did you see the Return to Silent Hill trailer? I have not yet. It's funny how it's a January movie. It feels like it's just being slid under and coming across all that. What's your I have less problem with KSI. KSI seems funny to me. I don't know about his controversies or anything weird he's done, but if I had to pick that, I'd pick KSI over both of them. What's your favorite what's your favorite cologne? I have to look at the one my lady bought me, but it's just one from the mall. She just sniffs it. I'd like him to smell that way. get it for him. And I got it. Dark Noir. Chica Fumes. That would send me into Ravage mode. Chica Fumes. Chica Fumes is just the scent of a KFC. All original recipe, huh? All right. I think that that does it. We're done. What'd you think of Welcome to Derry was the last chat here. Like I said, I'll talk about it on Sunday. So you guys have been asking for it, and I'll give you a better one there. But thank you guys so much for being here. Dang, we went 3 hours and 23 minutes. That's a long time. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are great people. Be good to one another. And don't forget, leave suggestions for more sound bites. Love y'all faces. Good night, guys.